All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and dive into session 16 of Trouble in Theondir. Our previous session began just as the group had proven victorious in a brutal brawl in the amphitheater of J.P. Franzén's The Overhead, a brawl where both Kerrhylon and Bolin had been brought to the brink of death. Death, however, would be the fate of the opposing side's 5 fighters. Seizing the moment, Trago would play to the crowd as they cheered and chanted in sheer ecstasy, while the guards began to carry the bodies of the fallen fighters downstairs to the loading dock. Trago and Timi, with looting on their minds, would follow shortly after. Meanwhile, upstairs in the amphitheater, the group was trying to collect their full reward from JP, who was not being entirely honest. Frustrated, Bolin would banish Franzén to a dimension within JP's own orb. The orb was shattered, security jumped in, the orb was mended, and Franzén was returned, this time far more cooperative. Trago, on his way back upstairs, would pick a lock and make a detour through the main office of the Overhead. After a short investigation, he would find a letter along with a copy of an invoice from someone named Tanglebriar, who was requesting a certain glass construction based upon a provided prototype as part of his costume for the tri-decade celebration. Pocketing the prototype, an egg-sized glass form with a green streak through the center, Trago would rejoin the group. And having received their payment, the adventurers would make a hasty departure. Half-elf bard Timi, wanting nothing to do with the abuse of his acquaintance Franzén, had already departed with instructions to the group to rendezvous with him in the northeastern side of the central city at a place called the Golden Harmony. The group headed out in this direction, but their progress was interrupted by a funeral procession. At this, Kerrhylon's personal amulet began to glow bright blue under his armor, getting brighter and hotter the closer he came to the corpses of the deceased. From the mourners, the groups received information about a sort of curse or sickness that had befallen both a father and his daughter, a curse that the former had long suffered with, but that the latter had recently received after her visit of desperate prayer and supplication at the temple to Bahamut. A speech and a funeral pyre, after which the procession would return to where it originated at the Golden Harmony. Following closely behind, the group would likewise make their way to the inn, where they would receive some much-needed sustenance and rest. The following couple of days were filled with errands and preparations as the group readied itself for the coming festivities. Together, the adventurers would make their way back to the mysterious walls surrounding the Synchari Academy and discover that the glass prototype, when employed properly, carried the power to dispel the Synchari protective magic. Due to time restraints, however, this lead would be left to be pursued at a later time. The group's presence at the perimeter of the Academy would nevertheless not go unnoticed. For their final day before the festivities, the group would split up in order for each of the adventurers to prepare himself in his own particular manner. Niv, you spend the morning crafting an eloquent letter to your business acquaintance Tucson, in which you describe the hasty departure of Franzén and inquire into the progress of your previous letter's request. After lunch, you take a long stroll past the Overhead to investigate a bit more, and you end up at the Crawling Crawfish in Upper Gate Town with yet another request for the old sage Menelaus to identify the shard of mirror you acquired from one of the corpses following your fight in the Overhead. In similar fashion as with Bolin's ring, Menelaus' eyes shoot wide open, his mouth hanging down. If this is indeed the item that my magical intuitions are suggesting, and if the legend is indeed true, you are in possession of quite a magnificent gift. Niv, you can go ahead and read what I sent you.
Do you want me to read it out loud?
You can read it to yourself. Yeah. Timi, you spend the majority of your day focused on 2 main tasks. First, you make your way into the heart of the central city in order to procure for yourself a costume for the festivities. Go ahead and describe for me what that costume looks like.
So, it's polka dot checkered pants, yellow, green, and blue. I also have one of those big old toucan beaks.
Nice.
With a red permed wig.
Perfect. Okay. So kind of creepy toucan clown.
Knew this is coming.
Perfect. So that's your costume that you pick up, Timi. Second, you send a message to Lady Drelden in which you explain your current situation, your new acquaintances, the mess with Franzén, your immediate plans, and your ideas for how everything might be orchestrated in a way that will best serve the interests of the lady. Bolin, with your short time, you head out alone to test a theory that you have been working over for the past few days. From the Golden Harmony, you set out directly east across the majestic white bridge leading to the second island of Theondir, where you make a close pass around the Synchari Academy. The closer you come, the more intensity you feel radiating from the ring that you hold clasped in your hand. As if somehow the fate of the Synchari, the fate of the ring, and your own fate are deeply intertwined. The first part of your third theory confirmed. With this, you cross over the majestic bridge leading to the north bank. Once again, the ring in your hand intensifying with each step, bringing you closer to the temple to Bahamut. But unlike the academy, the feeling growing inside of you is one of dread, one of foreboding. The second part of your theory, confirmed in part, but nevertheless leading you into a host of new troubling questions. With these questions rumbling around in your mind, you slowly meander your way in the early evening back to the Golden Harmony. Trego. After breakfast, you wander into Lower Gate Town with the intention of finding someone who might, without drawing too much attention, help you discern the nature and properties of the two blades that you looted off of the corpse of the drow in the overhead. After a bit of asking around, you're able to make your way to the dingy basement of a tanner's shop in order to meet with a shady female tiefling by the name of Guinness, who has both the knowledge and the will to carry out the identified procedure. On one side of each blade, inscribed near the hilt in large letters and abyssal, is the word fear, and inscribed on the other side is the word rage. In smaller letters is something of a poem, inscribed in identical form along the length of both blades. It translates roughly to this: the blackened blades of Alandar, though simple they may appear, yet mirror primal passions at the heart of every age. For wielders gain an upper hand when facing foes with fear, but truer strikes will always come when hearts are filled with rage. Go ahead and look at what I sent you, and that poem is repeated there. Now, I'm assuming, Trego, that you spend the evening and the rest of your time attuning to these blades because they require attunement. I'll go ahead and let you look at what I sent you, and you can make that decision if you want.
And then, what was I able to find for like health potions and stuff?
Yeah, you can pick up some minor lesser healing potions.
Lesser healing? Okay, I'll
Yep,
pick up 3 then.
Yep, go ahead and write that down. And these are fairly cheap. 10 gold for all of them.
Okay, 10 gold for all of them?
Yeah, you found a pretty good deal.
Perfect.
Down in the shady part of Theondir.
Goodwill.
Kerrhylon. Over the course of the day, Kerrhylon, you set out to find answers to some of your deepest questions. Answers are difficult to come by, but intimations are everywhere in the world of the wild. From your druidic leanings and affinity with animals, you sense a great migration of the creatures of land and air, primarily from the northeast of Theondir, but also out of Theondir in general, almost as if there has been some sort of pressure change signaling the coming of a great storm. Sora herself has been more on edge than normal, holding herself closer to your side than she typically would. And following this lead, you cross over into Upper Gate Town and make your way along the northern wall into the north bank. Your intuition pushes you eastward as you follow the high white wall into a small grove of trees where a quaint hut houses a dwarven cleric named Torig Balrun, with whom you have an immediate affinity.
Oi, you bring with you a sense of heaviness that I have not felt in a long time. What is the burden that you bear with you?
You bring forth the amulet and request his aid. Torrig sets to work immediately with a task of identification, and although there is a good deal about the amulet that he's able to discern, there is also much that is beyond his skill level and remains yet an enigma. So you can also go ahead and read what I sent you.
His name was Torrik. What was his last name?
Torrig Balron, Balron. And finally, Groggle. Since your imprisonment in the dark and damp dungeon under the great hall of Theondir Keep, your mind has slid into a fog of darkness. It is almost as if your consciousness has begun to fade away. For the guards, however, and your fellow prisoners, their minds are haunted by the chilling sound echoing unceasingly from your mouth, the sinister laugh of one who knows of something terrible about to transpire. So despite the nervousness and excitement that each of you feels with regards to the coming celebration, you are able to settle into a much needed rest. And as sleep begins to overtake each of you, your minds drift through the incredible events of the past couple of weeks. Your travels to Heraldheim and the quick escape from the port with the Willow Weeper, your arrival in Haldir Harbor and meetings there, your journey through Mittendorf and your close encounter with death by fire, your arrival in Theondir where you received your errand, your encounter with the orcs and the druids, your meeting with Greywater and the Knot, your interactions with J.P. Franzén at the overhead, and the new tasking you have received from Melathon. An incredible story, but a story that has only just begun. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. 4 o'clock in the morning. Time to wake up. As requested, you are awoken 2 hours before sunrise by Dami, the receptionist at the Golden Harmony. Breakfast has already been prepared, so you are quickly able to eat, pack your supplies, and set out in good time on your way towards Theondir Keep. My adventurers, sunrise is drawing near. You have 2 hours. How would you like to proceed?
Do we need to be in costume when we approach the keep or get to
the
keep?
whole day, or
that probably would be good. I mean, the celebration starts shortly after. People are going to be pouring into the city with their costumes on and preparing, so it wouldn't be bad to have your costumes on.
Okay.
I think we should go to the keep and get all the, get briefed on everything that we're going to do and where we're going to be stationed.
We think our appointments, and we have to be there in 2 hours.
Mhm.
So our appointments we start in 2 hours, but the celebration's later.
Yeah.
Because I would think that there would be.
So technically, the celebration starts when Tyrius comes out and he sets it in motion after his speech, which is at noon.
And it's 4 a.m. right now. Okay.
Yep.
So we should go down and probably have breakfast.
We already did. We do the breakfast.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, you weren't listening. Thanks, Tim. That's Matt's way of saying get your ass on the road, because we had breakfast, rested, took a shit.
I'm going to hand both Bolin and I suppose I'll hand one over to Kerrhylon, a lesser healing potion. I probably should have bought more, but I'll eat. So you each have a lesser healing.
Well, you got 2 hours, so you can go get more.
I mean, should we just say that we go get more so everybody has at least one?
Yeah, sure.
I have 2 greater healing potions already. I don't need any.
I still have some.
I still have 2.
So we got to make sure that everything
What about that shit that makes them into a fireball? We should get some more.
I got plenty of that too.
Theondir Thunder?
Yeah, I got 4 of those.
Are we sure they all do the same thing? No.
They don't.
No, they don't.
You have no idea what they do other than what you've seen. You're trying to induce what they'll do.
Yeah, I would say give everyone else the healing potions except me. I don't need any, and I'm the healer.
So let's just say
I can heal myself.
Lesser healing potion.
Yeah, you can pick up one more on your way. That would be no problem. You can do that on your way to the keep.
Okay.
How far are we from the keep? Like how long of a walk?
You're like 45 minutes away, so you still have
So
some
we
time.
have like an hour before we
Yeah.
have to leave.
Right.
So I'm gonna say, what's this? Who's this Groggle guy you guys keep bringing up?
Currently in
It's a
jail.
story for another time, my friend.
He's dead to us.
Now you guys can
should-
speak
we may-
freely.
We maybe should inquire about what his status is when we meet who we
The
meeting.
big dog. Yeah.
Melathon?
Melathon, sorry. Yeah. We should at least ask how he's doing. Or if he's dead. Has he been executed already or
I could
and
call
if
him.
not, why
I
not?
could call Forebrand to find out.
Is
Yeah,
that
you
going to
took
be
the-
part of the celebration today? Is
Yeah, that's true.
execution.
Maybe a
Yeah,
public
fine.
execution. That would be interesting.
That would be.
All right, let's go get brief then. Get this show on the road.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, let's go.
fuck up over here.
So you guys finish up your breakfast and you pack up your last things. You get your costumes on, and on your walk now over to the keep, you're able to pick up another potion on the way. There's a potion shop. I mean, everything is open really early now. People have been up all night. People have been basically partying since the new harvest celebration. So it's been about a week of partying into this new party. So yeah, there's a lot happening in the city. And you make your way across to the keep, and you eventually pour your way into the square here. And just as you approach the square outside of Theondir Keep, the sun crests the horizon behind you and begins to bathe the area in a brilliant golden light. And rising up before you are the majestic white walls of the keep that converge in the main archway gate leading into the keep area. On both sides of the gate are strewn these enormous banners depicting the symbol of Theondir, a large green orb on a blue background flanked by a sun and a crescent moon. It's the same symbol that you guys saw flown high by the Theondir navy that you were met by when you first entered Theondir's waters on your trip from Haroldheim. And in the center, yeah, and in the center of the gate is set up a stone speaker's podium. And despite the early hour, the square is already bustling. People are setting out blankets and chairs in order to reserve the best spots from which to follow Tyrese' noonday speech. And you see a line of 20 or 30 people leading its way up to the archway, where a brilliant green glow stretches across the space between the archway stones. A handful of soldiers and figures dressed in dark cloaks are receiving the people, and one by one, allowing them to pass through into the outer bailey of the keep area. And as you come closer to the arch, one of the soldiers yells out at you, "Halt!
State your purpose for entering the keep. Do you have papers or credentials?
Do we have papers?
Which one of us has the medallion?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
I think
don't.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
I
I
have.
do.
So I'll hold my medallion up.
I'm also Carrot Top. That should get us in.
Do you have suspenders?
You meeting Melathon or Firebrand?
You're meeting Melathon.
Yeah, I'll hold my medallion up and say we have a scheduled meeting with Melathon this morning.
You seeing the medallion, he's sort of taken aback at first, and
Yes, of course. Feuerbrand had mentioned that you'd be coming.
please this way. And he shows you to the Synchari, and there you stop before the Synchari, and they perform a ritual that you've all witnessed before, you've all participated in before. Niv, this time around, your ears are a bit more attuned to the cryptic words that they're speaking, and you hear the faint whisper as they begin to lay their hands on your shoulders. In conventum trium lux libera. And when they do that, suddenly the energy shield begins to shift and move a little bit, and you're all able to pass through, to walk directly through the green energy force field into the area behind the gate. And once through the gate, you're met by soldiers on the other side, and they escort you through the outer bailey up to the gate of the inner bailey. And they lead you up to a regally dressed figure standing tall and proud. It's Melathon.
Greetings, my friends.
He smiles at you, but you can see that he's stressed, and there's tension reflected in his eyes.
We have finally made it to the celebration day. I am pleased that you have been able to stay with us this long and to see us through the celebrations. Feuerbrand is disposed at the moment, so I will be walking you through the details of the day. Welcome.
Where's Firebrand?
There are many preparations around the keep that Firebrand is seeing to. Soldiers need to be placed, other operations that need to be looked
But
at.
if we're in charge of security, we need to know where he's at. Or if we're part of the security team.
Firebrand will be returning later when it's time for Tirius to be entering.
Has he made any headway on where Greywater disappeared to?
Greywater, we have not yet found where Greywater has taken off to. That is, of course, something of quite concern for us. Disturbing it is, Greywater disappearing so quickly.
Melathon, my friends here there's whispers about someone named Groggle. Who's that? I need to know the story.
Groggle? You mean the murderer of some of our finest soldiers? Halvor and Rasmus were some of our finest soldiers here in the keep, and Groggle murdered them in cold blood.
What's your plan with him?
Well, Tirius has requested that no blood shall be shed on the day of the celebrations and the 3 days after, but as soon as we are done on the 3rd day, we will be executing Groggle in a public execution in this square out in front for the rest
Does
of the...
Lady Draenor have any pull with you?
I am familiar with Lady Kerrhylon, yes.
How much to release Groggle from prison?
That, my friend...
Wait.
Hold on.
Timi, my Melathon, our friend Timi here does not speak for the group. I don't want to impose presumptions.
I don't know enough about him. I back off.
Timi, while your gesture is very generous, I think we may want to give you some context into who this person actually is first before you
Please do. At a later date.
Make such an offer.
No, I want right now.
Speak freely.
That's okay.
He's a violent drunkard that gets
Oh, he sounds like fun. Should I get my recorder out?
Violent, idiotic.
Master Timi, I assume that these are the details that we can speak about after the celebration, but please do send my kindest regards to Lady Kerrhylon next time that you do see her.
As you wish.
I'm very pleased to see that you have been joining this group. We could also use your skill and perception in this coming celebration.
As you wish.
So Melathon gestures for you guys to follow him. He begins to climb the stone stairs leading up the walkway along the outer wall. And as you join him and begin walking the perimeter of the keep towards the arched gate, you see clearly now what you faintly saw on your approach. A ring of blazing green energy is surrounding the entire keep area. And Melathon notices your gaze.
Since we last met, the military has also been doing some investigation, and we have received some information that confirms your own story. The threat is credible enough that we have asked the Synchari to provide extra security measures in the form of this perimeter defense. Ildrox was at first hesitant, but it was not impossible to persuade him.
Have we notified Melathon or Firebrand or anything about that little egg that we found and the letter?
No.
Mm-mm.
What letter?
That letter that Tanglebriar wrote and requested
yeah, the one that I found.
the prototype.
Yeah.
I thought we told someone about that.
Did we not communicate that to him?
Did you mention to Feuerbrand?
I think we called Feuerbrand.
Did we call him, or did we talk about calling him and then not call
Boy, that's specific.
That might be more what happened.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think we all discussed it and just
Because I was
Get drunk.
explain this to him. I'll mention I won't show him the letter, but I'll mention to Melathon that I found some information in JP Franzen's office. He had a drawing of what looked like, and I'll describe like the glass crystal with green whatever. I wasn't able to actually get it, but I saw it, and he had a letter from Tanglebriar requesting more to be made.
Hmm.
And it seemed
Say
important.
there's green in the center.
Yeah, like a green, well, whatever it is, like the green dust or green streaks through the center.
Is it indeed
Do we know-
peridot?
Do we know who Tanglebriar is yet?
No, we have no idea who Tanglebriar is.
No, we don't.
Does Melisson know who? I'll ask Melisson. Does he know who this Tanglebriar person is?
The name Tanglebriar means nothing to me. I've never heard that name before. But this is quite disturbing. This is quite disturbing. Go ahead and roll it out. Give me an insight check.
13 plus 4, 17.
17. It's maybe not entirely believable. He probably might be holding back something that he doesn't want to share with you immediately for security reasons.
And I want to piggyback on what Drago was telling him and say that we've done some of our own initial research, and these bolstered defenses may not be as strong as you think.
Say more. I need all the information you have will help us. How do you know this?
We've done a little experimentation with what we could, and we found weaknesses in the Synchari barrier over at is that the Synchari Temple? Is that what it's called?
The Synchari Academy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Academy. And if this Tanglebriar has ordered more or larger versions, they may be planning or able to get through these barriers.
In mass.
Yeah.
This is indeed more disturbing than I had first imagined. I will report these findings when we are finished here to Tyrius, and once again request that he postpone this event. But he is a stubborn man. He will proceed, I'm sure, as normal, but I'm sure that we can continue to up our forces around the perimeter if we need be.
I would suggest, Melisson, that you absolutely do that. I would say if you have the capability to increase your presence at the borders with military force, you should do so. As well, I would be interested in knowing who the commander of your Synchari dispatch is that will be leading the Synchari help that you were given. How much do you trust this person?
Well, Kerrhylon was sent to us by Ildrox himself. I trust Ildrox, though we indeed have, what could we say, is a rather loaded, precarious relationship. Tense at times, but good at other times. I trust Ildrox. I trust that Kerrhylon is indeed a reliable leader of the Synchari here.
Kurath?
Kerrhylon.
Because Ildrox is the guy, the leader of the academy, right?
Ildrox is the head of the Synchari Academy. Kerrhylon, Krooloth, Kerrhylon, is the one in charge of the Synchari at the perimeter now of the Theondir Keep. Well, if this is indeed what you say, we do have extra forces that we have stationed within the keep. We could reposition them along the outside of the keep or along the border if you think that is perhaps a strategic placement, a well use of our forces.
Are you able to expand or push out this force field, push out farther past the gates?
We are able to do what we have done that the Synchari has been able to do for us. The borders, the limitations of that are strictly around the keep at this point. Now, we control everyone who comes in through the keep. So, in that sense, we have decent security.
And how much do you trust the Synchari? Are there elements that are under investigation or that we should be worried about?
I will say this, not to be repeated to anyone else, but I do not trust the Synchari, but neither do I entirely distrust them. Their goals and purposes align rather nicely with our own in the military.
It's the fucking druids. Oh,
Okay. All right.
Matt, check your check WhatsApp, please.
Oh, I've got that on my on the other phone up there, the reveal phone.
So do I have to send
Reveal
it?
phone? Oh,
I'll tell you what. At the break, I'll switch over to Messenger and I'll get my iPad because I'm about to show you a map here in a second.
So,
I don't
Melisande.
think we really need to warn them about. We warn them that there might be a bigger threat, and so we can get along with the briefing.
Melisande,
I will. Yes.
I have a
Kerrhylon.
question. This force field, is it three-dimensional? Is it spherical? Does it go around us just on this level, or does it go like underneath? What are the dimensions of this force field?
Essentially, the force field is spherical in nature, which means that it will go above us as well to protect us from any sort of incoming intrusion. It will also go down into the ground in a spherical area around
Into the ground, though?
under the ground.
into and underneath the ground in a sphere around a central point. The way the Synchari have done this is they have set up an orb, a particular orb in a special place within the keep, out of which then the energy then creates a sphere of protection around it.
Do you think we should have someone watch that orb?
Well, we have Synchari, we have soldiers watching that orb at all times.
One of us.
Perhaps.
Matt, this is a question for you. The orb prevents people from going in, or this force field. Does it prevent people from going out?
It does, yeah. You need to be able to pass both ways. So if you're in, you're in, unless you're able to get out with a spell or some other means.
Okay.
What about inanimate objects?
Same thing. They can't go through.
Okay.
Send Sora to guard the orb.
Well, this orb is like the size of the keep.
What?
It's
The orb-
a force field around the keep.
The sphere, yeah, the sphere. But the central point that it originates from, the energy, is as a smaller orb placed within the keep. It's kind of like the orb of Syncharis, that is sort of that which creates this spherical orb around all of Theondir. This is like a smaller version of it.
So basically, we have a force field inside a force field.
Basically, yeah.
Is it egg shaped?
Yeah, it's not perfectly spherical, actually. It's not perfectly spherical.
Marathon so it's a force field inside a force field. Is it the same spell and everything? Can get into both force fields, or are they different?
I assume that the Synchari magic is the same in both the outer wall and Theondir and this force field they have here as well.
So if people can get into the city secretly, then they can get into the Synchari Academy. Secretly.
Indeed, but hypothetically, yes, that is correct. But it is difficult. It is difficult to learn the Synchari magic. There are many other things that need to be functioning and working, and of course, it's only small scale. As you've noticed, that individuals can pass through it at one time, but we've never seen any incursion on a large scale.
I think we should send someone to the Synchari Academy because they're preoccupied in the spell or whatever that we know now to get in. Someone get in and find out what's going on, because something's up with the Synchari Academy.
So I want to ask Melisande, and I guess maybe this is where we're headed anyways. But what is the schedule for the day, and what is specifically Tyrius's schedule?
Eric, I'm with you, by the way. I know what you're saying. I'm with you.
Like, is Tyrius come out, give a speech, and then disappear back into the keep for the rest of the day? Is he hanging out, watching parades, visiting places around town? What is actually happening today?
He'll explain it to you. He'll lead you up, and after he leads you guys up onto the wall. And as you walk around the wall after a few minutes, you finally come to the gate archway there, and where the stone podium is centered between the long flowing banners. And Melisande stops here, and gazing out over the square that's now beginning to fill up with people. He says this: despite everything that we know, Governor Tyrius still insists that the celebrations will proceed as planned. The day will play out in the following manner, Niv. Right now in the morning, Governor Tyrius is safe in his living quarters under close watch by the elite guards.
Just before noon, he will be escorted to this very place where he will hold his much anticipated address to the people of Theondir. After this, he will retire to the safety of the keep for a more intimate gathering. Obviously, Tyrius is most vulnerable when he is out here in the open, and therefore it is this moment that we need to be the most vigilant. As you can see, we have indeed a good area to cover. And he spreads his hand out and shows you the area below.
I'll take a push here. Okay.
So, something like this, approximately.
So are we up? Is Melathon up? Okay, that's him on the whatever.
Oops, Groggle. I almost put Groggle out there.
He's escaped. Get him.
And let's see. Oops, I put Timi down here. I gotta get Timi. There's Timi.
Is that all the rabble waiting for the festivities to begin?
Yep, that's all the commoners who were here setting out their blankets, getting their ales ready for an interesting speech, some entertainment, hopefully some fireworks, and
Shit skills, bro.
And so where will Tyrius be speaking from?
So Tyrius is going to be speaking from right here in the center. There's a speaker's podium here. I can show you. Here will be Tyrius eventually. It'll be right around there.
And this is where the edge of the interior force field ends?
Yep, so the wall, basically the force field goes around here. So this is the square over here, which is not covered by the force field. And then the gate begins here. The keep is back in this direction. So if you remember, you go through the gate and then you have to get through another gate. There's an outer bailey, an inner bailey, and then there's the keep itself.
Matt, how long till this starts?
Well, right now you're pushing. You probably got 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, so I need to talk to you either via chat or privately here. I need to talk to you.
Okay. You guys want to just unplug for a second, or
Sure.
Yeah. You go
me for a
outside.
second?
Oh, don't hurt yourself. Jesus. Get outside.
I'm going.
So, Matt.
Yeah.
He's almost over. All right. So what I want to do is I want to send a message to Lady Draenor, and I want her personal security escorts. I'm going to ask. I don't know if it'll work.
Okay.
But I want them to come and guard the orb. The orb.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. How are we going to send her this message?
Do they have pigeons? Do they have riders? If I have to step away and get a rider to take a message to her, she's a ways away, I would think.
Yeah, she's actually she's been away from her residency for several days now. But you could send her a rider, and she could get back. She could be able to get her soldiers here in time. They're not going to make it for Tyrius's speech.
Well, I want to do whatever. I want them to come.
Okay.
All right. Do you think they'll come?
Absolutely. If you request it, they will.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
Okay, so you're going to request for Lady Drelden's personal guards to come and watch the orb. Perfect.
Well,
yep.
For them to come, yeah. But
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yep. Good.
We're good, Chino.
Sorry. Oh my God, it's a lot up there.
That's a great idea, Timmy. I love it.
It's fun when I'm not hampered by Groggle being so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
So the force field is going to be in front, like right in front of him, technically,
Yep, that's correct.
and he can speak through it, and people can see him then.
Yep, you can see through it. It'll be slightly distorted because it's greenish. But yeah, he'll be able to see through, and he'll be able to speak, and he'll be able to be heard. I'm assuming they're going to use some sort of thaumaturgy-like spell to actually help him out there.
Hey,
It's just one of those old-timey directors
Yeah, right.
codes.
A megaphone, yeah.
Oh,
Melathon, what are you going to be requiring of us? What do you need us to do?
Well, you see, the issue is that our soldiers will be stationed in various places in the crowd, upon the wall and inside of the keep area. Their presence, however, as you can imagine, is quite conspicuous. This is where we need your help in particular, and your particular perspective. You are to be a covert presence blended into the crowd, reading any signals, following any leads, observing and potentially stepping in if necessary. We have, of course, our ideas for where we would like you all to be stationed, but we are also open for your suggestions. Kerrhylon, because of your amulets, it would be good if you could be stationed closest to the gate. The rest of you could be scattered throughout the square, working your way through the crowd. Do you have any ideas?
What does his amulet have to do with anything?
If indeed it is true that the amulet is somehow tied, connected to the blade of Seirgard, which the knot has been prophesied to be used in the killing, then we would like to have Kerrhylon close by to make any detections, if possible.
I'm happy to do that. I would like to be able to communicate with my friends, though, if they're far away. And I don't know this cylinder that I have, if there's a way for us to have something similar amongst all of us.
I'm sure that we could manage something similar to connect you to one another.
Okay, good. And, I have another question for you, Melathon. What intel have you gotten? What other threats have you heard that, I think it would be good for us to know what else you've been hearing.
We have also heard of the knot. The assassination attempt. We have heard, in fact, that it has perhaps something to do with Greywater. Beyond that, things are a bit fuzzy. But your details that you have told us have indeed been confirmed. And therefore we know that it is indeed a credible threat.
Melathon, I implore you to delay the festivities by 1 hour so additional security options can be implemented.
It's a good idea.
I will speak to Tyrius and present that suggestion to Tyrius, and he shall do with it what he would like.
I would like to speak with Tyrius.
Tyrius, my friend, unfortunately is under protected guard at this point, and he shall remain so without any contact until he comes out. He will speak and he will go back.
So can I write him a note and one of the security guards take it to him?
You may pass it to me and I will bring it to him immediately.
Okay, so how do I know that he gets it? Because I don't trust you, Melathon, necessarily.
Well, then you do not know, my friend.
We're here for the security of Tyrius.
You trust me or you do not. That I have no control over.
I got to take your word for it, I guess. So I write a note that I want him to delay proceedings by 1 hour.
Okay.
And then, bye.
So Melathon, as far as him giving the speech, what is expected of us when he is up on the wall here talking to the crowd?
It would be preferable if you could be in the crowd, looking for signals, looking for disturbances, looking for anything that seems strange that is about to happen, and step in if necessary.
So I'm gonna say out loud, who has detect magic?
I do. I have it. I have it.
Right. I'm just reminding everybody. Let's detect magic.
I have it prepared.
Will any of us be allowed next to Tyrius, or are we not going to be allowed on the stage with him? Is it just going to be his guards?
Soldiers and personnel will only be allowed on the archway. We're not allowing anyone else.
What do we have to do to get one of us on the stage with him?
That does not seem to be possible.
Why?
Elite guards, Tyrius. I will be there as well, but that is it.
Man, how tall is the wall that he's going to be on from the ground?
The wall is approximately, let's see, the podium will bring him up about 25 feet, it looks like, approximately.
So this is a first. I need you to take your earphones up so I can talk to everyone else.
Okay, sounds good.
It's Melathon. Melathon's going to kill him. Yeah.
What?
I'm not 100% convinced, but
Why
I
do you think
I just think, man, like that's the
But,
twist.
but if it's Melathon's already inside the force field.
yeah,
Right.
Why,
Right,
why
so
do they
he
need
would-
to be bringing people in? Right, but why? What's the purpose of the
Because he works for the
force field? The force field.
It's a cover, Dan. It's a cover.
Okay.
I mean, I just
I would lean more towards Feuerbrand being the mole. We don't know where he is or what he's doing.
That's obvious.
Someone inside is not telling us the truth.
And also, I would like it wouldn't surprise me if they brought Groggle out to kill. He brought him up in the beginning.
Well, because Feuerbrand was in charge of watching Greywater. Greywater just fucking disappeared, and Feuerbrand still has a job. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a good point, Dan. Yeah, Tim and Dan are right there. Well, so we're all in agreement. It's an inside job.
well, this
right?
is a discussion that we should technically be having like away by ourselves.
Yeah.
So let's get the information of what we need to be doing, and then we come up with our own plan. What we're gonna do.
Okay.
So you wait. Oh no, not yet.
No, hold on.
Wait.
Okay.
So I got to tell you guys, I've learned something about this amulet, and it doesn't do what Melathon thinks it does. It only kind of helps me detect if there's undead around. That's what it does.
Oh.
Is it? It's
So
not going off. Oh wait, no.
But it
went
went
when
off on
fired.
that.
The funeral profession.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So the
Wait,
closer it gets to the undead, the brighter and hotter it gets.
so when we were at the funeral procession, there was undead close by.
Mm-hmm. The people in I'm assuming the people who they were burying were undead.
Interesting. So that disease doesn't kill people; it turns them.
Right.
Uh-oh.
So, and if
Interesting.
they're undead, the question I have is if they're undead, can they get to the force field easily?
So since we're talking here, then
Well, let's ask Matt or Melathon.
hold on.
Wait.
So what I did is when I was on chat with Matt, I dispatched a rioter to Lady Draenor to provide her private security to come guard the orb. And that's why I've also suggested that we delay by an hour because they're over an hour out. Lady Draenor is the real shit.
Drelden?
She's a baddie.
Whatever.
Okay, so this is a conversation we
Nintendo
should be having.
64.
All
All right, so let's bring Matt
let's
back
figure
in.
out exactly what
Okay.
is expected of us, and then we come up with our own plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have a question for Melathon. How long?
Yes.
How long is Tyrius going to speak?
Sirius is not known for speaking for long periods of time. It will be 2 to 5 minute speech, at which point he will set in motion the festivities. It's more of an optics thing, and then he will go back into the keeper. We have a more private party celebration for more honored guests, and of course, you all are invited to be a part of that as well.
Whoa, hold on. There's a private party?
Yeah, that's what we got the costumes for.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it in public. That's where they're going to do it. Whoever's trying to kill him.
But first, let's start out with the beginning. How big is Melathon or Tyrius's security detail going to be when he's on the wall? Who's going to be with him?
Tyrius will be having his elite guard with him. We can consider approximately 20 to 30 soldiers that will be with him at that point.
Dude, we're like the FBI over here.
Should we try and convince Tyrius to Amidala this and have him dress up as a guard and one of the
That's what
guards dress up as him?
I was thinking of having me and you live close to him so we could have him like away from the wall, maybe giving the speech, and then one of us mimicking. So with an illusion, probably you because you'd be better at that.
I didn't prepare silent image today.
Well, you did.
Should have lied about it.
But Melathon said we're not allowed up there. Melathon said we're not allowed up there with him.
Yeah. So it's just going to be his 20 to 30 soldiers.
Can't we try to persuade Melathon, though? Can't we roll some dice?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could.
Yeah, what do you want to try? What do you want to ask him?
Well, where are you going to be, Melathon?
I will be stationed directly next to Tyrius the entire time.
Okay.
I don't trust you. I'm not saying that out loud. Oh.
You're going to be joining Groggle before you know it.
Melathon, I have a...
Let's see how many of Eric's characters we can get in the dungeon.
Melathon, I have a... Given my amulet and what I'm able to kind of sense, I think tactically speaking, it would make a lot of sense if I am on the parapet there, within 30 feet of what's his bucket, when he gives a speech. Serious, yes. Because that gives me a wider range. If I'm on the ground, I don't have as much, the sight line isn't as good for me. So if I'm up on the parapet, I got a better shot at it.
This, my friend, is a very intelligent suggestion. I will present this one to Tyrius, along with any other suggestions. The suggestion that we push off 1 hour, the suggestion that you stand with him.
And I'm very inconspicuous, even though I'm over 6 foot tall. I'm wearing a druid costume, and I'm dragon. I am wearing a druid costume. I can be very inconspicuous.
How familiar are the townsfolk with what Tyrius looks and sounds like?
Sounds like they've heard him before a lot. He's given many speeches. This is a fairly regular occurrence. He likes to come out in the public and speak to the crowd and give these inspirational speeches. As far as how he looks, people don't really ever see him up close. So that's a little harder for people to say exactly how he looks. There, of course, are reliefs of him throughout the city. But as you can tell from different stone busts and stuff like that, I mean, the likenesses are better or worse depending on your artist.
What are the capabilities of his elite guard? Are they just soldiers? Are there going to be casters, clerics, healers?
Will be a combination of all of those things. We have the elite guard has been trained in both magics as well as weaponry.
And does Tyrius ever have like court followers that follow him around?
Indeed he does, but they shall not be joining him up on the wall for this event. They will be waiting for him in the courtyard and waiting for the private party.
So I'm going to say we at least need one of us close at hand.
I cannot make any promises, but I will take your request to Tyrius, and I will report to you shortly.
Also, Melathon, I would like to play before the start of the festivities on the stage. No, I'm not kidding.
You are free to do whatever you would like in the courtyard before the speech begins. You have from now until 12 noon.
What about on stage?
That shall not be happening. We have our own trumpeters to announce the entrance of Melathon.
Fair enough.
Okay. Well, have we seen enough up top here?
Well, because as an aside, I don't want Melathon to hear this, but if we can get
Matt, take your earbuds off.
Well, no, I mean Matt can hear it, but Melathon.
Well, I'll tell you what. So Melathon can say, he says,
very well, I will take your suggestions to Tyrius. It seems that everything else has been prepared. We have a couple of hours before Governor Tyrius makes his entrance. Find your positions and begin your surveillance, and I will come back and report to you what Tyrius has said. Remember, once we have come through the celebration, you all will be handsomely rewarded. May Bahamut be with you.
And with that, he turns his back in the direction of the keep, leaving you all standing there with a stunning view of the entire square and keep area where you can now pick out your positions. Go ahead, Niv.
So, if we can get someone to stand in, for Melathon or for Tyrius.
Yeah.
I think minor illusion, because minor illusion can be someone else's voice. And I've heard Tyrius speak.
Right.
And it says it can be, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. So if we can get someone else to pretend to be, it says it can be your voice, someone else's voice, and then other stuff. It only lasts a minute, but it's a cantrip, so every minute, if it's only a 5-minute speech.
Yeah.
You got to roll every time.
Would there be like a gap? Like,
a cantrip?
would he disappear and then reappear in like a
No.
second?
I can just if we can have someone
Keep casting it again and again, yeah.
pretend
You got to convince him to do that.
Right, that's what I'm trying to get at. If we can somehow convince him, to swap places with one of his guards, we can make the guard look sort of like Tyrius. He's up on a wall. No one's really seen him up close. We can make
It's a great idea.
but I just don't know how to execute it.
We'll say this, Niv. We'll say this after like 25 minutes. Melathon comes back, and he comes back up to you guys. You're still standing up here doing your strategy, looking over the area that you're going to be surveying and working through. He comes back, and he looks at all of you and says, Tyrius has made some concessions. He would be willing to start at 12:30, not 1 o'clock. And he also believes that it would be a good idea for you, Kerrhylon, Dragonborn, to join us on the top of the gate. So you shall be joining us there. None of the rest of you, however, shall join us. Are there any other ideas that you have before I return and finalize the preparation?
Chad, you can't do minor illusion, can you?
No, I could disguise self. I was going to say,
Hold on,
how tall
I
is
might
Tyrius?
have it.
Because I could do somebody up to a foot taller than me.
Melathon,
He's
I
only
don't
like
think Tyrius
5'2".
is 4 feet tall, is he?
Melathon, what about my request to have some way for us to communicate?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
Oh,
Yes,
hold
indeed.
on, Matt. I'm gonna cast Charm Person on Melathon.
Okay.
Is that a good idea or bad?
I guess we'll find out.
You said it.
Doesn't he realize he's been charmed after the spell wears off?
Yep.
Oh, no. Then I don't want to do it.
No, okay.
Yeah, that's not a good.
Is that why you went?
Yeah.
Melathon, so what were you going to say about
Yes, Melathon also has a leather pouch with him that he reaches down and he pulls out these very simplistic looking cylindrical devices that look similar to the one that you have, Kerrhylon, but a lot smaller. And he says, these cylinders are attuned to one another. With this simple clicking, you can click them on to the on position and click them off again, and they will have open communication between all of you. Between one of these cylinders to the other. All the cylinders to one another, but to no other cylinders anywhere else. So it is a closed communication. He passes out a cylinder now to each of you. So you have this really simple looking cylinder.
Bomophones.
Click it on, click it off. When it's on, you can hear and talk to everybody else in the group who has them.
and
Does the cylinder need to be on the receiving end in order
Yes.
to hear? Okay, so we
Yes,
should all
yep.
just leave it on
Yep.
at all
What's the
times.
range of those?
Yep.
Definitely.
And Melathon, so this does not connect with the cylinder that I have that I've been using,
No.
or we've been using. Okay.
No, these are attuned to one another.
Okay. And is it possible to dial a different number in the cylinder than I have to get a hold of you?
It's not a phone.
The cylinder is a communication to Feuerbrand, who has the other side.
Wonderful.
Feuerbrand has the communication. The code is still to Feuerbrand.
When we speak with this cylinder, can everybody hear it, or can we just hear it in our minds, or is it like a loudspeaker?
It's
On the other
everyone
end.
within like 10 feet could hear. It's
Okay.
like a small speaker.
Okay.
We pretend that we fiddle with them a little bit, so we know we can just whisper if we need to just whisper to each other.
I mean, if you had them on and you held them up by your mouth and you were whispering to each other, you'd be able to hear it.
It's like a walkie-talkie, basically.
Yeah, you could use it like a walkie-talkie. But if you're screaming at each other, then people are going to hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Matt, I need 30 seconds.
Okay.
With you or with us?
Yeah. So where's Firebrand right now?
With me or with them?
No, where's Firebrand right now?
Are you asking Melathon?
I'm asking. Yeah. Well, yeah. Whoever. Yeah.
Feuerbrand is currently with the guards. He's working with the guards and preparations in the courtyard.
So you know what? Let me hold on. Oh, wait, Timmy. I'm gonna grab Timmy's arm, just kind of squeeze it and say, "I'm gonna call for it, but I'm gonna pull him aside. We're gonna call him once Melathon leaves."
Okay. I still want 30 seconds with Matt, please.
Okay.
Right. Only 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you think the ladies' guards would surround Firebrand, and take him into custody, and get rid of him, take him out of town or not?
Would they take Feuerbrand?
Yeah, get rid of him.
I don't think they would try something like that. Feuerbrand is pretty high ranking here in the keep area. So if they came in from outside and tried to barge their way into the keep and take over one of the high ranking people here and run away with them, they're gonna have some crap on their hands.
Okay, that's the end of that.
Okay,
we're good. You didn't hear anything, did you?
Nope. I was thinking to myself. So before we come up with our plan here, I would like to see the route that he will be taking to the party and the room where the party is. We need to make sure we know where all the exits are.
So if you look behind you, you see the wall here, the southern wall that we are standing on currently here. We are standing on the gate of the southern wall. He shall be walking along the southern wall, along the entire perimeter, all the way back to the keep and entering into the keep, directly into the keep, into the throne room. Down to the great hall will be the private party there. And he will be escorted by guards the entire time. He will be coming out on the southern wall, returning on the northern wall. I meant to say that, sorry. He will be coming out on the southern wall, coming to the podium, speaking, returning along the northern wall into the keep.
Now, when he gets into the room where the private party is that an enclosed room within the keep? Are there windows to the outside?
That is an enclosed room.
Okay. How many entrances?
There is one main entrance, and there are several other entrances that are lesser known. But the one main entrance is the main entrance in front, but that is also guarded by a Synchari spell.
Okay. The other entrances are all going to be guarded as well?
They are guarded by guards. The other entrances come from above, from the throne room, and other areas of the keep.
Okay. Are there
of course, we have many guards that are guarding the area underneath the keep, which is where we have our prison and where we have our captives as well. They will be highly guarded there.
Okay, are there any entrances to the room, the party room, that are not well known? Secret entrances?
There are entrances that Tyrius, that I know of, that no one else knows of, in case we do need to make a quick escape through something.
Okay. And that was my next question. If something does happen, what's your protocol for getting him out of the room?
He will always be with soldiers as much as possible. He shall never be left by the elite guard. If there is any problems, we will take him out immediately. The guards will escort him to a safe area and protect him.
Right. So is there ever any guards, like if they get him out of the room, are there guards that would stay back for a rear guard?
Indeed, there are.
Okay.
So what happens if, like, he just gives a speech and he goes back to bed and everything's hunky-dory?
Then we have had a successful festivities. I shall give you your money and send you on your way.
I didn't actually say that. I was just thinking.
Well.
Niv, did you want to try to persuade Melathon with your idea?
Well, I kind of don't want Melathon to know that we switched. I understand he'll be standing right next to him.
Can it be Niv? Can it be me?
What do you mean you?
I mean, if I'm the guy on the stage already, I already got entree up. I'm going to be up there.
Yeah, but Melathon needs to know that it's going to happen. Otherwise,
No, he's saying, can he be the guy that is described?
Can I be the guy that you make look like?
Well, because what I had planned on doing was using my disguise kit, because I don't know, and Matt, you'll have to weigh in. Because minor illusion, I have the improved minor illusion, so I can make an image and a sound. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe minor illusion, the image moves. Is that right?
Let me check that out here.
I think I would have to use silent image for that.
Also, why can't we have both of you up there? Because you're just the decoy.
He's only letting.
No,
well, that's what he's saying. He would have to, or I would have to convince him. But if we think Melathon might be the one to shiv him, we don't want him to know that it's not actually Tyrius. But
it's been a year. We can't even get to the damn celebration. Probably just. It's like we're.
I don't think it's going to be as simple as Melathon just shivving him. Like.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not going to be.
I agree. Something's going to happen in the
that.
back with the undead or something when we're not paying. We got our backs to the,
Because isn't the whole thing is some blade kills him?
Dragonlance.
Some magical blade?
What's that?
Wasn't the
Blade of the
prophecy?
triumvirate.
Yeah, it was about that they used that blade to kill him for some reason.
No. We don't know anything about that, do we?
You've heard the prophecy. You know about it.
I explored it a little bit, but I think Melathon and Foyer, I met with them, right? I met with Melathon.
Yeah, you met with Melathon, yeah.
He didn't even know what it looked like, let alone having it in his possession.
Because the whole point of getting rid of Tyrius, like if they do it at that party, nobody knows anything about it. Whereas they do it out here, and you've got everyone that sees that this guy is now dead. So where do we think he's most vulnerable? Up here or at that party?
Anytime you're moving, any in motion, anytime that there's chaos, that's the best time to do it.
I would say when they're moving them. That's why I want to know the direction they're going. But good job, CIA.
Yeah, right. Educator, right?
So I mean, if we don't think that it's gonna happen when he's up giving his speech, then we can just move on and forget about
I
this.
think that's too obvious.
And try and figure out a way to protect him at the party or en route to the party.
Unless there's a shooter, 4,000 yards. It's like the impossible shot, man.
The fireball from 500 feet away.
Where's Marty Wahlberg?
Melathon, how many people know the route that you're going to be taking from the speech to the party?
Of course, people know that the speech shall be given at the podium, but they do not know that we will be coming from the south and heading back to the north. That is kept within our individual circles.
He's coming from the south wall, going to David's speech, and then he's leaving via the north wall.
I want to try and convince Melathon to reverse that, but don't tell anyone that he'll come from the north and leave via the south.
Give me a persuasion check. Just straight up persuasion check, and for him to bring it to Tyrius.
Seven.
I hear your request, Niv, and I shall mention it to Tyrius.
Maybe.
That brings up a good point.
That shall not be.
Last second, though.
It's a definite maybe.
Yeah.
How far out are we now, Matt? From
Well, here's the question: Do you guys want to begin to take your positions?
I think so.
So somebody's got to go to the private space and check it out.
Yeah.
And we all have these cylinders.
I'll do it. I can play.
No, you shouldn't do it.
Kerrhylon, you're going to
I'm
be
not,
up.
dude. I'm not wrong.
I don't think
on the-
I
on
don't
the gate
trust
somewhere?
I don't trust Timmy enough
Timmy's
to
not a fool.
have.
Yeah.
We just met Timmy like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I think we should send Trago.
Which is also 6 months ago.
Yeah, at the same point. So we definitely need to check out the route. Is what you're thinking? The route back.
Yeah.
Yes, and the room.
And the room.
And you're good at finding like trapdoors or
Investigating, yeah.
Yes.
Is that acceptable, Marathon?
Oh, do we want to tell him?
Do we want to tell
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
we
have
kind of
to.
have to probably.
Because
So,
otherwise we're not
Matt,
can't get into the
once we're done
Give
with
me
this,
Trago, give me a persuasion check then.
Matt, once we're done
let's
with this
see.
conversation, we have a group chat about all we talked about in the last half hour in real life.
them? Yeah.
Just so.
Yep.
It is. Persuade.
If you got to look, it's not good.
That's true.
13.
Trago, I believe that your perceptive abilities would be better served in the courtyard, down in front in the square.
Okay. Very well.
If there's nothing more, I shall go to Tyrius. I will bring your request, Niv. I can make no promises. If there's nothing more that you would like to request at this point, I shall go make my preparations.
By all means.
So Tyrius, for the last time, walks away and leaves you guys there now to take your final positions here.
Who's got the invisibility spell?
You have it?
Yep.
So we're
Yeah.
still up top, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can I have Lizzo go and hang out
I thought Liz
Over-
was dead.
Oh, nice.
over near where Tyrius and Melathon will be giving their speech?
Do you want to try and hide him somewhere?
I mean, do I need to? It's just a little gecko hanging out on a wall.
I mean, if you don't want him to be noticed. I mean, they might see a little lizard.
And try to flick him off or like
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah. I
Give me
suppose.
a stealth check on Lizzo. Roll me a stealth check for Lizzo. We'll see how well she can hide herself.
Now there's no bonuses, right? It's just because
Yeah,
it's
just
not
straight
my
up there. Yeah.
whatever they're called. Sweet, 4 again.
4. Okay, well, Lizzo positions herself on the wall
Dice off to the
quite
side.
quite noticeably. There's a lizard hanging out in the corner, but we'll put her there anyway. Somewhere like here, maybe. Okay.
So, Matt, during this entire conversation we've had with Melathon, did I get a sense of what Sora's demeanor was? Is she calm? Is she alert? Is she...
Sora is very tense. She is hanging close to you at this point. Melathon didn't say that she could be up on the wall with you, so she'll need to go down with the others. But she is she's whereas usually she's willing to run away and to investigate and to run around. At this point, she's holding herself very close to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I cast Speak Animals and talk to her about this?
Yeah.
So let me look at this spell. I want to make sure I'm getting it right.
Oh, Matt, I'm sorry. You said before, how tall is the wall that he's going to be up on?
It's about 25 feet where the podium is.
Okay, so if you were a few feet away from the wall, like would be within 30 feet maybe?
Yep.
Okay. And are there going to be guards right in front of the wall?
Yeah, there'll be guards down in front. There'll be guards on top. Yeah, there'll be guards everywhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna I'll pull Sora aside and I'll cast the spell. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna comprehend and verbally communicate with her. So here she can give me information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. I may be able to. So I cast it, and I really what I want to get from her is kind of what is kind of exciting her, if she can explain that to me.
Sora begins to speak a bit about a foreboding feeling that she's had, that something there's some sort of change in the air, like I said before, like there's almost like a pressure change when a storm comes, and she says that it's not necessarily originating. It doesn't feel like it's originating from this place so much, but there's something in Theondir that's happening in general that's making her uneasy and putting her on edge. And she wants to stay close to you because she's feeling that something strange is happening.
Can I ask her if she had any foreboding from any of the individuals standing around us in the last 20 minutes, including Melisande?
She looks at you and says that she feels foreboding from everybody except for the people that she knows more familiar.
Okay.
That she's more familiar with. Yeah.
Who's that?
So Melisande, the Synchari, when she came in,
Mm-hmm.
the soldiers at the front of the gate. There's a sense of just an uneasy sense she has about everybody here. She doesn't trust anyone.
So I want to tell her that unfortunately she can't be with me, but I need her to be, I need her to be a big wolf, and go stand in the courtyard and when she. To keep her eye on me, and when I go and I run, that she come and find me. She stay close, stay aware of me, and know that, she will be okay. Then I'm watching her.
Okay. She comes next to you and nudges her head against your leg.
Good.
And turns around and then runs over by Bolin and Trago.
Good. All right.
Do you communicate that to the rest of the group, or do you keep that to yourself?
No, I'm going to tell everybody else. I'm going to tell everybody what she told me.
Matt, how much time?
You've got about an hour at this point.
No, but you know what I'm talking about. Right?
Oh, right. Yep. It's going to be close.
Delayed by.
Are you making a hot pocket or something?
30 minutes. Serious.
Matt, I'm going to post up in the back, the very back, so I can get a better sense of the group. I would say even further back, like behind it. Yeah.
Can we just start walking around and checking out the crowd?
Yes, absolutely. Where do you want to be, Nev?
Well, on our way down there, I am going to cast Mage Armor.
Okay. Yep. Perfect.
And so, actually, can I? I'd like Sora to stick close to Bolin.
Okay. You can do that. Trago, where do you want to go? And Bolin, where do you want to go? Or Niv? Sorry, Niv.
To where Trago's out far in the back there.
Trago isn't. That's Bolin right here.
Or Bolin, sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
And those are all guards up near the wall with the arrow.
Exactly. So we have guards. There'll be more guards coming out as well. So there's currently 6 guards. There's more guards inside, as you can see, on horseback.
Okay. Yeah, just out in front there, kind of lower center. Yeah. Yep. Right.
With these guys.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. Trago, where do you want to go?
Matt, so a couple questions for you. Are the guards all human? What do the guards look like?
Give me a perception check, actually. That's a good question.
Well, that's pretty good. 17, 18.
18. All the guards seem to be human. Synchari is an interesting mix. There's human. It also appears to be some elf mixed in there. It's not strictly human.
Are the guards arranged all around the wall, the upper wall, that Pyrrhus will be taking back in?
Yeah, okay. They'll have like guards running the perimeter of the wall during this celebration.
All right, so they're like patrolling. They're not just like standing every. Like,
Yep, they'll be patrolling around for sure.
Okay, in twos by themselves.
In twos.
In twos. Because I could disguise self and try to stay up on the wall, but that could go bad. Is there any way I can be inside the courtyard? Like not out in the crowd, but inside the courtyard on the ground and watching the guards.
Do you want to be stealthy in there? You could try to stealth your way when you leave. You can stealth your way out of where you are now into a position there. If you're not successful, though, you're probably not going to be well received. So that's a risk you'll have to take if you want. But yeah, it'd be possible for you to find a hidden spot inside the courtyard.
I know what I'm doing, Matt. It's my turn.
Oh no!
Gosh, this is exciting, you guys. I'm super entertained by you guys.
I'm
Matt,
gonna take
Matt,
up a position 30 feet up, and it's sheer like what you have there. It's just a sheer wall, right?
Yep.
And then is the gate to get inside that we would be entering in?
Right here.
That's right there. Okay, that's where it
I
is.
think it's right under where Tyrius is going to be, correct?
Yeah, here's Tyrius on the podium. Gates right underneath them.
No, would it be possible? Like, shit, we didn't talk to Melathon to like introduce us so that they know to let us through. Like that we're part of security.
It might be possible, yeah. You could try to use your medallion as well.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go up to the guard. I'll flash him very secretively. I'll flash him my whatever and say I'm part of security detail. Dispersed throughout the crowd. And I just want you to let you know, if shit hits the fan, we need to get in. Me and my group need to get in right away.
The soldier looks at you, once again impressed by the medallion, but give me a persuasion check. You'll have to pass this with advantage, though, because you have the medallion.
Oh, that's a 15 and a 3. Persuasion's 8. So I'm at 23.
Very well. If you need to pass through here, I will remember your face, he says to you.
All right, good, thank you. And then I'll
Hope he doesn't
Does
die.
anyone have
black side out.
precious
Yeah, there you go.
stones?
No mask on.
Perfect.
No, no.
So
Yep,
we're
yep.
getting close to the start of this, right?
Well, actually,
Yep.
is everybody out in the courtyard? Are they like dressed up?
I'm not.
Yep, people are dressed up in costumes, and people are all dressed up. Yeah, it's
Alright, so
costumes.
I will have my mask on there.
Okay. Yeah, are you going to be right outside the front of the gate then?
Outside of the front of the gate, kind of like maybe 10, 15 feet back, so I have a good view of Melathon. But I'd like to be able to get as close as I can if I need to do anything.
Okay, there you go.
A message.
Timmy, where are you?
Timmy, yeah, where did you want to go?
All right, so So invisibility says a creature you touch. Does that count for me?
Yeah, we said that could count for you. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go invisible,
Okay.
Should have me go invisible.
Oh, nice.
and I'm gonna crouch
Yeah.
3 feet to the right of the platform where he's speaking. I'm gonna go down like this, Matt. Like this.
Okay.
So just kneel.
Well,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Just
Take a knee.
Perfect. Okay. So there
Matt,
you are on the podium.
How much?
I'm
How
willing-
much time we?
Wait, hold on. Didn't anybody notice me?
I mean, you went invisible, right?
Yeah, well, you tend to get people look when you disappear.
That's true. Give me a stealth check on that as
Hold
well.
on. Never mind. We'll bring it up.
Does anyone have any precious stones?
7 plus
7. Okay. So everybody immediately notices Timi goes invisible. So all the rest of you can mark this. Like Timi was standing there, all of a sudden, poof, he's invisible. You don't know where he is at this point, but you know he's invisible.
I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the crowd. So that's good.
Matt, I want to. I'm gonna kneel down next to Sora.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my holy symbol and just place it on the ground, and say, and I want to pray to Lathander. I just want to pray that we have a safe event, and he watch over all of us, and he try to help us if anything goes wrong, and guide us in the right direction.
And as you finish that, there's the clouds passing through the sky, but the sun had passed behind one of the clouds, and just at that moment, the cloud sort of comes across the sun, and the sun kind of beams come out and sort of shine down and onto the platform and warm it up there, and almost as if some Lathander has given you a response.
How much time do we have till it all goes down here?
You've got about an hour. We'll say it's about
okay.
11.
Am I kind of? Who's the person who's on the parapet right now? In the
Melifon, he left. He's gone.
Okay. So I'm isolated by myself.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna call Forbrunt.
Okay. You put in the code. You remember the code?
22731.
Yes, this is Forbrunt. What is it, Kerrhylon?
Forbrunt, I think. Are you aware of all the plans that are going on right now in the front for Tyrius' speech?
We have had a debriefing several hours ago. If there have been any changes, I will be informed of them in the next half an hour.
Okay. We were told that Tyrius is going to come from the south and depart from to the north.
That is correct. That is what I have indeed heard.
Okay. And where will you be when this happens?
I will be holding myself back in the courtyard.
The courtyard with the guards on the horses?
Further back into the inner bailey. Watching that area with the guards in case there is anybody who is making an incursion there before Tyrius makes his way back to...
Matt, I slowly make my way back to the back of the courtyard.
Okay. You're going to head back to the courtyard.
Well, wait, I mean, no one else can hear this, though.
I'm not hearing this.
Oh, never mind, Matt. Sorry.
Do you have your cylinder on?
Sorry.
I don't. Not yet.
Everybody was on, didn't they? Didn't we all leave our cylinders on?
If we did fine. I mean, I plan on telling everybody, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, but I'm not by you, so.
But I mean, I'm going to tell everybody everything that's being said. So.
Right. Through the cylinders.
But it's through the cylinders, right? So if you want to go back, Timi, you can.
Yeah, then I want to. Yeah.
Okay,
It's just gonna be
Timi
a
takes off back.
cylinder conversation happening, and no one can see where it's coming from because he's invisible.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird.
It's like a little feedback too.
Yeah, we can have those earrings.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Timi, oh, sorry, Caroline, continue.
Well, okay. So Forbrunt, what do you know of this private space? Is there anything special we need to know about it? Any special entrances, exits that we need to know about, or do you? Well, before you answer that question, how are you feeling about what's happening in the next 2 hours?
Personally, I think that the celebrations should be postponed, should be cancelled. But Tyrius is a man of a stubborn will.
Okay. What can we do to help in this situation, in your mind?
It seems to me that if there's any threat, it would be coming from the courtyard. So for me, it would be important to continue to look for any potential problems there. Tyrius is a man of quite a good amount of hubris to think that he can just simply go up to a podium and speak to a crowd. I don't trust the Synchari protection shield at all.
Okay. Why? What is your concern about the protection shield?
No, there are certain people who are able to make their way through it without any problems.
Who?
Those who have understood the spells of the Synchari, those who have learned the spells, those who have picked up other magic as well.
You're French, though.
Oui.
Fucking frog. Is this? I'm concerned now. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm concerned.
As am I, Kerrhylon.
What? They have, Melithon has us in the courtyard, most of us. Is that going to be the appropriate place for us? I mean, should we be doing something else?
Your guess is as good as mine. I cannot give you any certainties today.
And back to the private space. I mean, in all honesty, I got to tell you, I think probably the place, if anything happens to Tiberius, it's going to be in transit or in the private space. Who's watching over that space, that room?
I will personally be there.
Are you there now?
Melithon will coming. I'm currently not there, but I will be in that space when Tyrius comes.
What? Okay, so I want to keep lines of communication up with us, so you're able to call me too. So
yes, I will do that if I need it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Click.
Bye.
We are 3/4 of the way through this session, and we still haven't gotten to the goddamn celebration.
Okay, so I relate all this to everybody else.
Yep. Okay. So it's about 12 o'clock at this point. And the square now is entirely filled up with people because people are expecting for Tyrius to be coming at 12. And he's not showing up. It's 12:05. People are getting a little restless. But nevertheless, there's still a spirit of revelry in the air. People haven't stopped celebrating since the Festival of the New Harvest a week ago. And a few minutes before 12:30, you see Melathon and a large contingency of soldiers beginning to take their place along the platform, along the podium.
Matt, before this happens, I'm scanning the crowd in front of me. Does anybody look like actually agitated or nervous?
Why don't you all of you who are in the square, give me a perception check, and you can also, Kerrhylon, give me a perception check.
And can we all assume that we have our communication devices turned on?
Mine's on.
They're all on.
Yep.
Perception, Matt?
Yep. Perception check for everybody.
Okay. 15.
I'm not in the square.
18.
Mine's over there.
I got a 5.
So Niv, you notice in the corner of the square, there's a large group of people that enters the square. They're making an unusual amount of noise. There's some shouting, some clapping going on, like even sounds like cheering or something like that. In the center of the crowd, you notice a particular person with a lavish costume. There's a massive, beautifully flowing red robe with some type of solar system embroidered into it that moves down the length of it. And on the top of the robe, there's this enormous golden hood that flares out, embroidered in the likeness of a huge sun, and rays are shooting out, solar flares upwards of 2 feet out of the costume on the neck. And there's a large group of people following this person. And they come and they sort of set themselves down right in the center of the square. Bolin, you also notice, not too far away from you, there's a rough-looking halfling. And he is rather shifty in his eyes. He's moving rather erratically from place to place. He's a bit nervous and a bit suspicious as he's looking around. His right hand continually moves to his right side, where there is something in particular is protruding off of his hip. That's what you get with your perception check.
Can I shift over like closer to him and investigate? Maybe get a better perspective on what he's holding or what he's...
Yeah, you move over to him, and he's still shifting around. He sees you moving a little closer to him, and he kind of just begins to move away, and he begins to sort of fish his way through the crowd a little bit, holding his hand on his right hip as well. Kerrhylon, you don't notice anything.
Kerrhylon's looking at his amulet.
But wasn't it? So just remind me, Bolin, what is your costume? Is the same as?
It's like white with gold embroidery, and it's very bright and very it's a long cloak with like a huge like a collar like spiking up from the top and like
Doesn't somebody have something similar to you?
Yes, but
it's that other guy that Matt just
buried
described.
It's the author, some author of novels that we've read before.
That's who has that big group of people following him.
Could be. Do I see him? And if so, do I recognize him?
You didn't see him, but Niv saw him.
Okay. So I just want to keep. I want to keep an eye on this halfling.
Okay.
Passive eye.
Yep, and you see eventually he walks over and he ends up coming to he meets up with a shorter figurine. Looks like something like a dwarf almost, and you see them speaking for a second and then pass something between them, but you don't exactly see what it is.
And I'm just going to go through the comms. Anybody see anything suspicious?
Swarm.
Timi, give me.
I'm in the back end of the.
Timi,
the castle.
give me an investigation check, Timi.
And I'll point out. I'll point out this halfling and his friend to the group through the comm
Investigation.
to keep an eye on him, what he looks like, and describe him and stuff.
Eric looks that up. Matt, when he's describing what's going on, do I recognize this as like just a thieves' tactic?
It's not unfamiliar to you. You don't know exactly what they're doing, but I mean, this is common par for a little more shady figures. Yeah.
Right. Because I'm just going to say, I assume they're pickpockets. The one guy's a pickpocket, and he's transferring goods, and that's how they're moving them.
I
yeah.
have a 15, Matt, but keep an eye
Okay.
on it.
Timmy, strangely enough, as you are invisible and moving around in the area in the back of the courtyard, you don't notice Feuerbrand anywhere there.
Son of a bitch lied to you.
So can I go back and try to get into the keep?
To go into the keep area, you want to go back?
Right. I don't
Yep.
want to open a door. If someone else opens the door, I want to sneak in.
You can go up on the stairs, and you notice that the door has a strange. There's a strange opening to the door. There's a handprint where there's this glowing green energy on the stonework.
No, I don't want to touch that.
And the door itself is locked at this point.
Yeah, no. That's. I back off. So no, I want to make my way back up to where the podium is.
Okay, you want to head back to where you were before?
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Okay, give me a stealth check with advantage because you're going to be going through a lot of soldiers and Tyrus at this point.
I'm invisible.
You know?
Yeah, but you can still bump them.
Matt, can I? When Eric's done, I want to cast detect magic.
20 something.
Okay, no problem. So you are able to get your position again here. Okay.
Matt, is my amulet, anything with my amulet happening?
Your amulet at this point is still pretty calm. Your amulet since you had your walk yesterday has been glowing a bit. It's still glowing in the same way, but it hasn't changed anything in the last few hours. Yeah, detect magic, Bolin.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm at least 30 feet from the halfling. I want to get close to him, but not look like I'm getting close to him.
Okay.
Fly casual.
Fly casual.
I mean, you do notice a bit of magical essence coming off of his right hip. There's some magic radiating off of that.
Can I tell what kind of magic? I think I can through this spell, right?
Conjuration, yeah.
Okay.
And you also notice a bit of the trace of the same magic that passed over to this dwarf figure.
Okay. Anybody else? Do I get a ping off anybody else in the crowd?
You're getting a ping off your own communication device that's giving you something, but other than that, at this point, not really.
Okay.
Slight ping from up on the gate, where in the corner where there's a perhaps a figurine, invisible, crouching there.
Okay.
So at exactly 12:30, so push back 1/2 hour, the sound of clock bells begin to reverberate throughout the central city. Is Timmy with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's here. Okay, yeah.
I'm just not in the picture.
The sound of clock bells begin to reverberate through the central city, but they are interrupted by the blasting sound of majestic horns from some of the soldiers lifting horns up, announcing the entrance of the governor. And you see a line of soldiers donned in regal silver armor with colorful feathers protruding from their glimmering helmets, leading a single figure, an older man, proud but slightly hunched over, with long flowing silver hair matching in length his long flowing silver beard. And this is your first sight of Tyrus. The figure slowly makes his way to the podium, and his head finally rests the lectern. And as soon as it does that, the crowd lets out a deafening roar.
Is he tall?
He is very tall, yeah. Yeah, very tall.
Matt, as this is happening, as they're cheering, I'm looking through the crowd. Is there anybody not cheering?
Give me a quick a perception check.
natural 20.
Oh,
Plus 1, so 21.
Jesus, you just met Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Yes, there are. In fact, you see, everybody seems to be cheering except for two individuals who you see at the moment in the din of excitement. You see them stepping up behind Bolin, and Bolin, in your ear, you hear a loud exclamation. Here he is! And at the same time, you feel a jolting force of metal meeting the back of your head. Go ahead and roll initiative for me, Bolin.
What?
Oh, shit. Am I going to roll initiative too since I see this?
Yeah, go ahead. You can roll initiative as well.
The fuck?
Do we have our communication devices on?
What about Sora?
It should be, yeah.
So then we should, the rest of us should.
Yeah, like
Sora rolls it as well. Yeah.
With disadvantage, Matt, since we're getting it through a comm speaker.
You guys can all roll it up. Yeah, that's fine.
What does Melathon? Because he's standing by Tyrius, right?
Yep.
What does he
17.
look like?
Take it.
He's just standing there and preparing for a speech. So he's waiting for the crowd to finish its roar.
Or what does Melathon look like?
Oh, what does Melathon look like? He's just standing next to Tyrius. So he's scanning the crowd. And at this point, when Bolin, when you're hit in the back of the head, he notices it. And
Who does?
puts his hand. Melathon does. He's scanning the crowd. He notices that a fight begins, and he shouts to the soldiers to head over there immediately. So soldiers begin running also in your direction. I'll roll for them as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm in my comm. I'm saying Bolin's going to attack. Matt, so question. I rolled a 1 on my initiative, but my lucky, because I'm a halfling, says if I roll 1 on a d20 for an attack roll, ability check, or a saving throw, I can re-roll. Is it initiative or?
Attack ability.
I don't think that's an ability
I
check.
don't think so. No.
Okay,
I don't think so.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Plus,
I got a 20.
You got
Plus-
20. Okay.
So
I got
is everyone
14.
supposed to be rolling initiative then?
Yeah, everyone can go ahead since we're all connected.
Sora got a 7 and I got a 19.
Oh wow, a 19 on Kerrhylon. Okay.
Should Lizzo, since she's
Lizzo
up
can
there-
roll as well.
Okay. So I got a 7, I think.
Actually, mine's a 21. Actually, Matt.
Okay.
And Lizzo got a 7 as well.
Okay. Sora got a 7 as well. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And Bolin, what did you get?
14.
14. Okay.
does a natural 1 matter? Because mine's plus 4, so it's technically 5. It's a natural 1.
Yeah, you have a. Yeah, that'll give you the 5 there. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So first of all, this you feel this force behind you, Timi or Timi, sorry, Bolin. And as you spin around, you're actually going to take some damage here because it was a first strike here. 4 points of damage, and you spin around and you see 2 inebriated dwarves standing behind you, shouting at you. You bastard murderers! You thought you could get away with killing our cousin? Well, we're here to revenge him. And they pull up their weapons to start.
The guys we
attacking you
fought
again.
When? Which
Yeah,
time?
at the overlook, the overhead.
At the overhead, you guys killed someone named Adding or Rartheth.
The
When?
dwarf I fought.
At the overhead.
Oh shit.
So Timi, you're up. What do you want to do?
I'm going to tackle Melathon.
What?
Or, no, I'm going to try to get him out. I'm
Melathon or
right to the right of him. I want to get him out of there.
You want to take Melathon out?
No, I don't want to kill him. I want to drag him. I want to,
Tyrius or Melathon?
Oh, no. Tyrius. Sorry.
Tyrius. Okay, so you start moving for Tyrius and grabbing him.
Still invisible?
Let me think about this for a second.
It's like instant death.
Yeah, we're.
Hold on. I'm still thinking.
I mean, it's just I would assume this is like a scuffle. What's happening?
This is a
not like a not like a war, like a battle.
Actually, I'll stay right where I am.
Okay, cool. Timmy, you hold your position. You're watching this scuffle break out. Kerrhylon, what do you want to do?
So I can see that Bolin is. What's going on? Am I able to discern what's happening?
You see Bolin gets hit by somebody and falls forward, turns around, and now he's staring at this. And you see Melathon yelling for the soldiers to go take care of this little scuffle that's happening. Running over.
And when looking at that, am I able to see anything else? Anybody else moving strangely, or anybody going towards Bolin?
Give me a quick perception check.
For fuck's sake. It's a 6.
6, not really. I mean, the crowd is starting to make a little circle around this for a fight.
All right.
But yeah, that's it. Bolin, you're up.
I'm gonna step back and say, what's the meaning of this? Why did you attack me? Who are you? What do you want?
First guy steps up, Norgan. He says, You killed our cousin in cold blood, you bastard. We're here to take out a little blood from you for that. The Rarthith clan dies with honor. Norgan Rarthith and Thakkud Rarthith were the cousins of this. The
I
one
don't
you
even
killed.
remember how that guy died.
Good luck, Tim.
So I'll say, I'll say to him, actually, how about?
Your weird background is cutting out. Dude. You're like,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, your paper. It's your paper.
Oh.
So, he's thinking Matt. He's thinking Matt. I want to make sure that Sora can see me when I'm looking around. I mean, she's gonna be looking at me, so I wanted.
Yeah, she can see you. She can see you. Yeah.
I'm going to back up. I'm not going to be threatening. I'm going to back up and just say your quarrel is not with me, my friends. I have no dealings with any dwarves. Your quarrel is with my compatriots. I will warn you, there are many soldiers heading your way, and in good faith, I would advise you to run.
It was good to try to ration.
I tell you what,
to use logic
they are
with drunk guys.
Severely inebriated. So give me a persuasion check with advantage.
yeah, shouldn't it be disadvantage if they're drunk? Like, you ever been around drunks?
Said that below. Don't say that out loud.
I rolled the 19 and I rolled a 2. What in perception or persuasion?
Persuasion.
So 17.
17. Okay. They look at each other and Norgan, that good. They see the soldiers coming. They stare at you. Say, watch your back. We'll be back for you. And they turn around and run. And as they're running, they're going to throw a throwing axe at you and try to get you while they're on the run. And that is going to be a 24. That's a hit.
But wait, if they're disengaging though.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually. Well, you backed off though, right?
Well,
Yes, yeah, you're right. I backed off and I disengaged. I
Hold
was
on, yeah. Like,
Look
just
at-
damage.
They're gonna hit you with 5 points of damage. This axe comes and kind of hits in you, and they take off running out the back of the courtyard. Half of the soldiers stop with you, Bolin. The other half pursue them and follow them out. The soldiers come up to you and say, "What's the meaning of this? What's going on here?"
I'll hold up my medallion because I have one. I'll
Yeah.
say, chase after these guys. They attacked me without provocation. Enemies of the state.
Okay, the two of you keep going. The rest of you back to the front of the gate. We've got a job to do. And they move back. Two more guys continue chasing after the dwarves. So Bolin, you took a bit of damage there, unfortunately. But Melathon, now seeing this happen, he had signaled for Tyrius to step back, and the soldiers had now stepped forward to protect Tyrius. And he could see that this was just a scuffle. There's nothing going on, but he is clearly on edge at this point. His nerves, Tyrius' nerves, Melathon's nerves are. You can see he looks nervous, but he gestures for Tyrius now to move back.
Can I see Melathon from my vantage point?
Yep, you can see Melathon.
Okay, I'll just look at it. I'll look at him and see that he's looking this way and say I'll just give him the thumbs up or like it's okay.
So on the comms, I'll say, Bolin, what the hell?
I'll say, Kerrhylon, we're going to be the people, the cousin of the dwarf you killed in the arena is now looking for revenge. I scattered them away, but I feel we may have to encounter them in the future.
Right.
And do we all hear this then?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Tyrius moves back up to the podium at the direction of Melithon. And Melithon, like I said, appears stressed and anxious. And just as Tyrius is about to begin his speech, you, Kerrhylon, and the rest of you, actually all of you notice this rather clearly, strangely, almost eerily. As soon as Tyrius assumes his position, a flock of 20 or 30 black crows lands on the wall
Told you.
No, it's
at
the
the
druids.
top of the arch next to the soldiers.
Damn it.
And a member of the Synchari steps up next to Tyrius and casts a spell, amplifying the governor's voice dramatically. Casting his gaze down upon the square, he opens his mouth and begins to speak.
Hold on, Matt.
Let's take a short break there, a bathroom break, and we will continue with Tyrius' speech in a few seconds.
Fuck you, Matt.
So, guys, Tyrius is about to walk up to the podium to give his speech, and you notice eerily this flock of 20 to 30 crows lands on the wall at the
20
top
to
of the
30.
arch next to the soldiers. And as you said, a member of the Synchari steps up to Tyrius and casts a spell, amplifying his voice dramatically. Something, yeah, like a powerful speech voice.
Can I hear? Is there any verbal components to this spell that he casts?
Yeah, there are. How close are you?
Well, I haven't moved, I guess, so I was right out in front of the gate, kind of in the center of the crowd.
Okay. Yeah, you're too far away. You don't quite pick it up.
Okay.
Matt, where are the crows?
So the crows, the crows are landed all along the wall here.
Okay, so pretty close to Tyrius then.
Yeah, really close to Tyrius.
All right, as soon as they land, I pull out my wire. I point because I'm within 120 feet of Melithon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna point to him. I'm gonna message him and say the druids are using crows.
The druids are the crows.
The druids use crows.
Did we tell him about the druids?
We don't really know anything about the druids. We didn't thought about the druids.
I'm just imagining Tyrius is about ready to start his speech, and he gets a message in his ear.
Oh no,
No,
Tyrius.
he sent it to
Oh,
Melithon.
Melithon.
Oh, the Melithon, okay.
Okay, straight up.
So first of all, let's point out that there's 20 or 30 crows that just landed in one space.
Yeah, that's
But-
suspicious.
Did we tell Melithon about the druids at all?
Did we? I don't remember.
That was a little embarrassing for us. So
No,
no.
it was like it was Firebrand because they sent those two guys that Eric killed, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So Firebrand knows about him.
Right.
But where is
Melithon,
it?
just do it, dude.
Like
So
the crows are
Melithon gets-
shapeshifters.
Melithon gets his message, and he begins to move closer now to the edge of the crows. Oops, there goes the podium.
Oh no!
He's dead.
Ah!
It's just an upside down chair.
It is.
8 points of damage.
I like it,
Ignore
though. I like it. I
Ignore
like
the man behind the curtain. Just like Disney World, Paul. We don't reveal the secrets.
Don't talk about Disney World like that.
And as Melithon moves over, Tyrius sees him from the corner of his eye, but he launches into his speech anyway, and he says, "Why, fellow citizens of Theondir, honored guests, and you who have joined us from beyond the reaches of our sovereignty, a heartfelt welcome to this glorious day of celebration. 30 years ago, today the mantle of stewardship passed from the waning Governor Valentinus to his young protege,
And from that day forward, this mantle has been worn with honor, but also with the seriousness of one facing the challenge of an uncertain future. In the past 7 generations, conflict has never been far from Theondir. The same can be said for the past 30 years. We have seen an increase in external aggression from Teravin under the leadership of King Felwyn, and at the same time, we have been met with increasing internal aggression by various rebels and terrorist groups within our borders. But I can assure you, none of these threats has the strength or longevity to undermine what we together in 7 generations have built. But you must remain vigilant. Therefore today I present to you my vision for the future of Theondir. The iron ore mines in the northwest are to be expanded tenfold. Our land-based military is to double in force, and our navy is to increase threefold. This is the vision for the coming year and for the 30 years to follow. Finally, to those of you among us today who count as friends, we welcome you to join us in our vision to make our great territory even greater. And to those of you among us today who count as foes, be prepared for your impending destruction. He looks out across the crowd, raising his outstretched hands into the air. And now I, Tyrius, governor of Theondir, with the authority granted to me as the first in power among equals, hereby inaugurate the tri-decade celebration. May Bahamut forever show his favor to the great city of Theondir. And with this declaration, another deafening roar erupts from the crowd as Tyrius lowers his hands and turns to leave the podium and begin to make his way along the wall.
I jump either way. I jump right in front of him.
Okay.
Because I'm 2 feet away.
He trips over you.
No, not in front.
He doesn't see you, so he runs up against something.
No,
Takes a step back. No?
No, he's turned around. I'm gonna jump and go like this. I'm still invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, putting your body in harm's way.
Right.
Oh, you're running behind him. Yeah, you're behind him.
Yeah. Well, towards the front.
Yeah, his former front.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you're behind him as he's walking away. Yeah. And you step up behind him. And as he does that, I mean, he starts to walk along the northern wall with nothing happening, in fact. And Melathon lets out a long exhale, bowing his head in relief.
Matt, as I'm walking towards the gate to get in, but as I do, once I get close enough, I need to be within 30 feet. I want to cast Mage Hand and smack one of the crows. Try to like knock them off and see what they do.
So you hit one of the crows, and the crow takes off and flies up into the air.
Okay. Can I just start like nudging the rest of the crows with my Mage Hand, like so they can't see them? It's an invisible Mage Hand. Is that like? I just want to
Kind of flies off the next one. The next one. First one comes and lands again. Second one lands again. Lands again.
It's not gonna work, Chad.
No. I just wanted to see. I'm going into the gate and I'm showing my medallion to the guard I spoke to earlier, and I'm going in.
I'm right behind Melathon.
Yep, walking behind Tyrius. Yep. Kerrhylon.
Okay.
It's almost as if the roar of the crowd triggers your amulet in some ways. With Tyrius's final word, a faint glow begins to radiate from the golden stone, not from yours, but from the golden stone that you got from Greywater. And at the same time, the rest of you feel a faint, almost imperceptible tremor in the ground. Melathon lifts his head once again, an odd expression on his face at this point. Governor Tyrius, he says, we need to move. Now! And suddenly, with a blood-curdling squawk, the flock of crows perched on the wall catapults itself into the air with a burst of black feathers, creating something like a plume of thick black smoke within the clear blue sky. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And then it's as if time stands still. A massive explosion of green energy shatters the northern wall of the Theondir Keep where Tirius is walking. Tirius is thrown backwards from the force onto his back. You all, with the rest of the crowd in the square, are knocked prone from the force, and your eyes partially blinded from the burst of light, your ears ringing from the percussive blast. Melothon now screaming, "Take Tirius to the keep! Go, go, go!" And the soldiers charge over to pick up a dazed but otherwise unharmed Tirius. They begin to lead him back around, this time around the south side of the keep. Melothon and another group of soldiers begin to charge down the wall towards the site of the explosion. You can now see that a huge portion of the wall is gone. A hole has been blown in the wall, and the Synchari energy field has been dispelled. At the same moment, chaos erupts in the square, screams of terror echoes across all the space. People begin to run in every which direction. Kerrhylon, your amulet is beginning to glow brighter and brighter. Give me a perception check, all of you, now.
Matt, can I cast, right when they pick him up, the soldiers, and start moving him, can I cast minor illusion inside the rubble and make it look like Tirius is still laying there?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a minute, but hopefully it's enough to make people think, oh, is he still laying there? Is he gone?
So oddly enough, an image of Tirius forms by the rubble, and some of the soldiers, confused, begin to head over to him. The other Tirius is taken around the south side here, the south wall, as Melothon runs down with the other soldiers to the hole in the wall. Perception checks, what'd you get?
24.
4.
Paul, can't hear you. I got
No.
15, man.
I got a 14. I got a 14.
15, 14. Okay. So Kerrhylon, Trago, Timi, in the midst of everyone running out of the square, in the chaos, you notice a single dark figure in a dark cloak charging towards the now undermanned and no longer shielded gate. In the confusion, the figure seems to slide unhindered through the checkpoint. Bolin, with your 24, you notice that the cloak is not as simple as it first appears. Embroidered into the edges of the black material is an ornate design of silver intertwining vines, wrapping around one another and traveling the length of the hem. And you immediately recognize this cloak from an early encounter that you had at the crawling crawfish. Calamity, confusion, chaos. My heroes, what do you want to do?
And Matt, am I able, as Tirius walks by me, am I able to touch him, to grab him and pull him towards me?
At this point, the soldiers are all around him, so they are not letting you get anywhere near him.
All right, then.
And they are moving as quickly as they can.
Then I'm going.
In the crowd moving towards the keep, or are all the commoner-looking people?
Everyone else is running in every which direction away from the blast, out of the courtyard. Some of them are running to pick up their friends, to pick up family members, and running out. But you see this one individual running through that Bolin immediately recognizes.
So then I'm going
I got
with.
a 4, so I didn't see shit.
I'm following Tirius. I'm going with his retinue. I'm going.
Okay, you follow after the soldiers. Yeah. Yep. Eventually, they get to the keep, and half the soldiers turn around and they prevent you from coming in at this point. No entry to anybody now.
I try to persuade them. I don't have a medallion. I said, look, I'm one of the special guards. I'm one of you. You got to let me through.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
And who, Matt? Where are we out in front here?
You guys are scattered throughout. You're fairly close, Bolin.
2 15s.
2 15s. Okay. Not enough for the guards to let you through. That was a high DC on this one. They're not going to let you through unless you want to try to fight them.
Yeah, not going to.
So, Matt, we saw a cloaked figure running through the gate.
Yep. And Bolin saw a little bit more.
Can I catch up to him? Can I follow him?
You can follow them if you want. Yeah.
I want to follow the cloak guy.
Because I was already making my way to the gate.
And I'm gonna turn around and kind of scan the crowd and back up try like towards the gate, towards Trago, because
Okay,
that's
yep.
Trago right out in front.
Matt, I'm also
Yep.
I'm following him. Right, I'm right next to him.
Next to.
Curious.
Curious, wasn't that's
Yeah.
what I said?
Yeah, you're invisible, so you're following them, the guards, into the area, the keep area. Yeah, you make your way in. Yeah.
So Matt, so they won't let me in. When they won't let me in, I will turn and I will yell, and I will hold up the little comm thing that we have amongst everybody, and I will yell, from light to life, from darkness to death.
Okay, you're gonna yell that at
I'm
that
gonna
point.
yell that. So not only did people within around me hear it, but then everybody who's around these guys with their little comms hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So your amulet lets out this brilliant golden light, and the soldiers are sort of blinded by that, holding their position at this point. But you don't sense anything else happening because of that at this point.
Oh. Okay.
So Timmy's following them in. We'll get to Timmy in a second. Bolin, you're chasing after the figure through the gate.
Yeah.
And you
As
get up
I'm
to the gate.
I'm chasing him, I'm gonna tell everybody like, there's this crazy guy or very suspicious guy that's running in. I'm following him.
You get up to the gate. At this point, the soldiers are initially they were thrown into chaos from this explosion, are now a bit more organized, and they see you coming, and they tell you to they hold their weapons up and tell you to halt. That you cannot enter.
I'll hold up the medallion. I have a medallion.
Okay, they step aside and let you pass.
Me through right now.
Okay, they after a short delay, they let you through. And as you come seeing, you run into this gate, you see now this figurine making its way up the stairs, placing its hand on this entryway. You see a blast of green light as the doors of the keep slide open, and the figure slides through the door, the gate sliding behind it, using some sort of spell with green magic to be able to get into the Theondir keep area. You follow afterwards. The door to the keep is closed at this point. You can't open it.
Did I make it in time though?
Are you behind with Bolin?
What's that?
Are you with Bolin?
No, I was right up front, and then immediately
Right.
the speech was done, I started making my way towards the gate.
Right. You see this figurine running in the direction sort of through the courtyard, but you're not able to catch up with them at this point.
So Matt, where did he go exactly? He ran through the gate and then.
Yep. So he went out this direction back towards the keep, which is actually off the map at this point.
Matt,
But
I don't know if Kim made it, why wouldn't he? Because he was ahead of him.
Oh, you were up on top, weren't you, Timmy?
No, not me.
No, Trago.
I'm with him for sure.
Trago.
So as soon as like right before we went to the break, as soon as he was or whatever we done with his speech, I started making my way towards the gate because I was right there and I wanted to get through.
Oh, right. To this gate right here.
Yeah, like the front gate that I was near.
Yeah, and Timmy, you were up on top. Is that correct?
No, I was
He was
down by the
following.
door.
You were
He was
down,
following
right, that's right,
He was
right.
following Tyrius.
You were. That's right. So Timmy, you were following Tyrius.
Yeah.
So what is the order?
So Timmy, you came up here on the top and you followed Tyrius, and you were able to go with the soldiers into the keep through the top. The lower level here, Trago, you're down here on the lower level. This is where the cloaked figure ran through.
Yeah.
You noticed the cloaked figure running past, but you weren't able to catch up with them. They ran up and opened the door quickly, ran into the door. You are at the front of the door then, just as Bolin comes up
Okay, so
next to you.
it's the door that's closed, not the gate.
Exactly, the door to the keep, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Matt, so what was the order of? So like, would I have seen this? Would Bolin's warning to us have given me time to see this cloaked figure run across the courtyard from my perch?
You would see that as well, yeah.
Would I have had time to get off a shot with my arrow?
You could, yeah. Go ahead and give me a shot.
Who are you shooting?
I'm shooting the cloaked figure.
Cloaked. Okay. And would Sora have raced after?
You're going to kill someone innocent.
Tough. I got a 15.
15, okay. The arrow flies over and misses. Long figure with as much speed and determination, heading directly through the door into the Theondir keep.
It hits Bon Iverfen.
It's Timi.
He's on the parapet.
Okay, so the cloaked figure is in the keep.
Has just made its way into the keep using some sort of green magic to get through the door.
Is Melathon, are they Did they get into the keep as well from the top?
They're from the top. Yep, they're heading into the keep from the top. So the person below has got through the door, heading into the great hall, which is underneath the throne room.
Unpopular opinion here. Let's let them die. The druids are better anyway.
You're Timi. You're not. You don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
We won't get paid.
us.
Yeah, you're not playing Phelan though. Assuming that Timi is in, and Bolin.
Well, I think I'm in, aren't I, Matt?
Yeah, Timi, you're following Tyrius through the top here. Yeah, the rest of you are down on the bottom here.
I'm gonna whisper as quietly as possible. Timi, if you're inside, the cloaked figure that Bolin described is there. Keep an eye out, and then I'm gonna try to open the door that he went through.
As you pull in the door, the handprint begins to glow green, but there's nothing that happens. There's some sort of spell that is holding the door shut at this
All right,
point.
I'm gonna call Forbrand. I dial it on the.
Okay. What do you say to Forbrand?
Hey guys, I think we lost Tim.
Did we lose Tim?
No.
He's just really quiet.
What do you say to Forbrand, Kerrhylon?
So does he answer? Is he there?
No answer.
No answer. Like Forbrand, are you there? Where are you?
He's dead.
Silence.
All right, I hang up and I.
Oh, we just
Oh,
lost.
he really did. hang up.
Forbrand is like Gonzo. He's AWOL.
Okay. Do we notice any other doors to get in?
This is the only door that gets you into the Great Hall. But it's apparently locked by some sort of magical spell.
Sorry. The door that the shadow or the cloaked figure went in, and the door that Melathon and Tyrius and Timi went in are the same door.
No, that's not correct. The Tyrius and Timi went up on the second level. They came around the side of the keep on a second level off of the wall. You guys are coming to the door from the
Okay.
courtyard level. There's the door that heads up to the Great Hall. So essentially, they're coming up to the throne room level, and you guys are coming into the Great Hall. The Great Hall is below the throne room. If you remember, you took that spiral staircase up to the throne.
On the communicator, I'm going to say, someone toss me goddamn medallion because I got to get in. This is the only way to get in. You guys are locked out. I can get in from the top level.
Okay. Because I'm on the bottom. I'm assuming you're right above me, right
Yep.
north of me. So I guess I'll run and I'll yell over to you. Like I'll show my thing and I'll try to throw it to you.
Okay.
It goes 5 feet in the air.
Give me a dexterity. Give me a dexterity check here.
Or who, Drago?
Who's throwing it?
I'm throwing it.
Yeah, give me a dexterity check.
Here's the roll so far to you guys. 7.
7.
He throws it into his face.
It kind of clinks out the wall and falls down at this point.
Are me and Trago together? Are we?
You guys are close together now at this point. Niv, what are you doing?
Well, when I saw that Trago was going inside, that's when I turned around and just backed up, facing the crowd, but towards Trago. So I'm probably, halfway back from where they are, but I'm going towards to meet up with them inside the courtyard there.
So Niv, you are able to get through as well, and eventually you meet up with Bolin. Bolin and Niv, Trago, you're now standing in front of this door that is magically locked. Kerrhylon, you're up on top. You still don't have a medallion. Timi, you're inside now at this point. What do you guys want to do? You guys in the courtyard.
I'm telling Niv to use this thing. Try to get us in the handprint.
Yeah, I need precious stones. I don't have the ingredients. Does anyone have 40 gold worth of?
You just need the medallion thing that we got.
No, to cast the spell, I need precious stones, right?
Fair
Or is
enough.
that without the egg?
I don't remember.
That was
the components of the spell to get through the shield.
the egg worked as the material components.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I think I have to touch you guys. Yeah, so I'll touch Trago and Bolin on the shoulder, and then cast the transorbification.
Okay. So suddenly, all of you, both of you, feel this sort of warm feeling coming through your body, and you see this green energy sort of circling around you. And one of you goes up to touch this door handprint. You place your hand in there, and immediately the door.
It opens.
It opens.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
The thing we talked about, is it time?
It's time, yeah. At this point as well, you hear a blasting of horns as Lady Drelden's private security force has now made its way into the square and is coming up to the soldiers, demanding that they be let through. An argument begins to ensue at the gate between the soldiers and Lady Drelden's soldiers.
Which of us went through the door? Or no,
we all went. The
Well,
door's open. None of us have gone through yet.
Did you tell us this, that you were?
I did, yeah.
You did tell us?
When Matt was offline.
Oh, yeah. In our little meeting, you did tell us that you sent for him. That's right.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'm
running through.
Oh.
I'm running as
Yeah.
I'm just going. I'm trying to run after the guy if I can find him.
Matt, do I see them go through the door?
You do see them go through the door.
Is the door on a spring hinge? Does it close automatically?
It will close automatically, yeah.
Can I take a shot at whether I can put an arrow in the door frame so it wasn't shut all the way?
And try and lodge it? Yeah, go ahead and give me a
Oh, for Christ's
This is
sake.
gonna be a hard shot.
Of course it's going to be a hot jar. Why not?
But give me
You still
it
got
with
inspiration,
disadvantage.
remember?
Yeah, use
Give
your
me
inspiration.
it with disadvantage. If you want to use your inspiration, that'll be with advantage. I'm gonna set a pretty high DC here. Let's see if you can beat a 15.
19.
So the arrow lodges its way just perfectly. As the door begins to close, it remains just ever so slightly open.
All right. I run up to it. I call Sora. I want Sora to catch up with me.
And while this is happening, I take my medallion out that I went back and picked up, obviously, and I sell whatever guard I talked to before, and I said, let them through on business of the governor.
And the soldiers that came, or you're talking about Kerrhylon?
The soldiers at the gate, the one that I talked to.
Okay. Yeah. So they, at this point, they are so confused. They're not allowed to let anyone through. Give me a persuasion check.
Wait, aren't you through the door already?
Oh, you already went in though.
I went in.
Right?
I went in. I didn't think.
Golden
I
went in,
don't know if
okay.
Trego went in.
Well, that's going to be good.
And I took a shot assuming that they had all gone through already.
That's 24.
24. Okay. So the soldiers are going. They're super confused at this point. They're going to let 3 of the security guards come with you. So 3 of the elite security guards of Lady Drelden also come into the courtyard. Bolin runs through the door in pursuit of this cloaked figure. Trego, you are right behind, and Niv, you're there as well. Kerrhylon, the soldiers are also going to run into this door, 3 of them in pursuit, trying to find Timi and help him out. What do the rest of you guys want to do?
I think we're all
that's
learning. I wish I could have gotten in and figured out the layout.
So what am I doing?
So as you guys run through the door, we'll jump to Timi for a second. Timi, you follow the soldiers into the top level now, and you come through a side door and you enter into what is, in fact, the throne room. Melathon begins to now shout orders to the soldiers to start beginning to fortify the area and cover all the exits. So he first runs off to the back, and the soldiers now begin to leave all the space, leaving Tyrius standing there at the front of the room by himself. He doesn't see you because you're invisible.
I'll stay invisible.
Okay.
How long
So
does
let's
that
run-
spell last?
Or
Until you cast her.
until I do anything, then I'm.
So let's run over to the rest of you now. We'll leave Timi there for a second. As you push through the door and enter into the Great Hall, your eyes take a split second to adjust to the low light. Bolin, your eyes adjust quicker because of your abilities. And when they do, you see standing in the center of the room, the cloaked figure, head slightly bowed with his hood covering its face, now looking directly at you. And in a near whisper, you hear him say to you, "No further shall you come." The figure raises its right hand and begins to mouth some intelligible words. And suddenly, from the sides of the room, you hear the crash of metal upon metal as you see the suits of armor and weapons that formerly lining the walls for display purposes have now become fully animated and are charging down upon you all. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. Give me a second to set this up.
Yes.
Holy moly! Okay, I gotta roll some initiative too here.
Matt.
Hey, Timi, are you gonna be coming down at all at this point? Otherwise, I would like you to play the guards, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, I got no reason to come. I'm protecting.
Okay, so you can play the guards then, dude. If that's okay.
Where are they going? I mean, where are they? Do we know where they're headed, or he doesn't
They're
know
looking.
where?
They're looking to help out Timi. Oh, that was a terrible roll for them. Okay.
How many are there?
You look in the room. There are 8 total.
No, but wait. Okay, so hold on. So Timi is still with Tyrius, but Tyrius doesn't know it. Timi is able to communicate with us where he's going.
Yep.
Where?
Quiet about it. I'm through the back wall. I think.
He's
right?
up in the.
You're in the throne room.
You're in the
Timi.
throne room, so
Yeah.
you're 1 level up, Timi. You're 1 level up at this point.
Yeah.
So so I'm gonna shout to the thing like, "What the hell is going on with everybody?"
I'm gonna be
no.
like just having a
You know,
As you're
I
walking.
would assume Tyrius would have heard that.
And
You shout
Tyrius
through
does in fact hear that, and pulls out a knife, and makes an attack actually in the direction of the sound.
I'll kill him.
But we'll get to that in a bit.
You're not Groggle anymore. You can't do that.
I'll kill him.
All right, what do we have for initiative
Maybe
here?
it's not Groggle, that's the problem. It's just Eric.
I rolled a 21.
A 21. Anybody higher? Let's do 20 to 25. You got 21, Bolin?
You're plus 4, so I'm 21 too.
Yeah,
Whoa,
but
okay. Who has a higher dex there? Probably Trigo.
I have 19
probably.
dex plus 4.
So wait, I'm not there yet, and probably the 3 guards aren't there yet either,
Guards followed behind, so they're actually there.
because they came with me, right?
They came with Trago and you, right?
Because I would have been on the top level of the parapet. I would have to come down and then across.
We'll say Kerrhylon, you can jump in the second round of combat. You can join us there. But you can still keep your initiative order. 15 to 20. Anybody there?
Hold on, I haven't rolled yet. Fudge. 9.
9. Okay. Let's see. Let's see, Eric. You have the soldiers. They're an 11. Anybody higher than 11?
I have a 13.
13. Okay. Niv is there. Sora. What does Sora get?
Oh, sorry. She got a 14.
14. Okay. So Sora, Niv.
She's with me, so.
Right. She'll be coming in later. And then we have, at this point, the soldiers, and then we have the armor, and then I rolled terrible for our evil people here, and then the cloaked figure is last.
Ooh.
Okay, so Bolin, you are up. At this point, you enter a room and you see this cloaked figure there, and you see. Initially, these 8 different armors begin to move in your direction. Actually, they got to move in before you guys, as you came in, they got to move in. So they'll actually be able to move a little bit here.
So
What kind of metal are they?
It's
like plate mail, right?
Yep.
So Matt, is it safe to say that I am the only one in the room at the time that these guys start their encroachment upon us?
We could say that you're the first one who comes in the room.
All right.
Metal's a really good conductor, right?
I don't have any electricity.
Huh.
for lightning. But
Okay.
I'm taking out a vial of Theondir Thunder in my panic,
Oh,
my sheer
Here
panic,
we go.
because I'm by myself. I run in and I see them by myself, and I'm freaking the fuck out. And my gut reaction is to knowing what happened with Chad,
Roll the dice.
with Trago. I'm taking it out, and knowing how much hurt I have from the dwarf attack. I'm already injured, so I'm taking one out and I'm drinking it.
you're drinking it. All right.
I'm drinking
Roll
it.
me a D300. Roll me a D100 3 times.
Is that like the percentile dice?
Yep.
The ones you don't have to roll.
Percentile plus 10.
So I rolled a 70,
Okay.
a 60, and a 10.
140.
I'm on 40.
But you got to roll the percentile plus the 10 to get
Oh,
like
right.
73.
Percent plus
Oh.
the 10. Yep.
Okay.
Right. To get like
Okay.
72 or whatever. Yeah.
Okay,
Start over.
so-
Start over.
Okay, so double zero is okay. So
100.
7, or is that 100?
You can't actually roll a clean 300. Like it doesn't work like that.
0, 0 is 100.
So I rolled a double
Yeah.
0 and a 7.
But you can't get 107.
We'll give you 7 then.
Yep.
Okay. So 7.
Make sure you mark your Theondir Thunder too. if you're
Yep, I
drinking it.
did. 7, 18,
5,
and
5.
71.
96.
All right. Hold on a second.
I think that's exactly what I called.
Oh my goodness.
You know, burn the past off.
This could be. I mean, this could turn me into a giant dragon, maybe,
Or-
or a mouse.
Holy crap.
Or a
Then I
pile
could-
of shit.
That'd be fun,
Really size- yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh
It's
no.
Oh no!
All right.
It's either
hold
a
on.
great laugh
Hold
or
on,
a.
hold on. I
this is gonna
gotta go.
suck,
I gotta go get a
Dragon.
model. I gotta
dragon
get a
model.
model. I'll be right back.
I gotta
I'll
go
be
do
right-
a
I'll be
dance
right back.
of happiness. outside.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta go get a figurine.
Oh, for God's sakes.
All right. Okay.
Oh, God.
Hold
So
on.
Bolin, you enter this room and you immediately see this figurine whisper this at you, and you see these eight different sets of armor begin to charge down on you, and you throw back a bottle of Theondir Thunder, and immediately you feel this warm sensation coming over you. And there's a few seconds, and the armor is getting closer and closer to you, and suddenly this light begins to wrap around your legs, twisting around your body, moving faster and faster and faster, like an orb of energy, of bright green, of orange and yellowish energy, and suddenly smoke goes through the entire room. And when it clears, for the next 4 minutes, I kid you not,
No way.
you have been turned into an ancient red dragon.
Yes!
Oh,
That's right.
Tim.
Fuck all y'all. I'm gonna get your
So basically,
4 minutes, Tim.
or 4 rounds, not 4 minutes. 4 rounds, you're an ancient red dragon. But this probably isn't going to last very long. Unless, of course, the magic is dispelled.
Holy Christ.
So that was your action. Whew. Sora, what does she want to do?
Get out the fucking way.
Sora's gonna no, she's second round. She's with me.
All right, Sora's not there yet. Niv, you now enter into this place. And you see this,
Do we know that he took this? That he is the dragon?
you have no idea. No, you're behind him, so you come in to see this dragon in the room.
Holy shit.
I immediately freak out and
The
cast
proper response.
mirror image.
Okay.
So that is So I have 3 illusory duplicates of myself. So for 1 minute, I have 3 of them.
Okay, yeah.
They move with me, mimic my actions, and they shift positions so you can't figure out which one I am. And then I'm.
I mean, you got a fucking dragon up here.
Yeah, I see the other. I see the armor too, because I was gonna hightail it to the corner of the room, but.
Is there any kind of sound? Is it like an explode, like when he changes, or?
Yeah, it's this massive exploding sound, and you guys running up are like, "What is going on in there?"
Any like concussive force that comes out of the room?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you're hit by like a wind blast from it as well.
So do I notice that Bolin is gone?
I would say you do.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you run into the room and you don't see the Bolins anywhere there.
Of course he
So-
does.
I'm going to just yell for him, try and find out where he is, and just immediately back up, like towards the door, sort of back right a little bit.
Bolin!
Yeah, and just try and yell, where's Bolin? What happened, Bolin?
Okay. At this point, Eric, the soldiers also make their way into the door and they see this situation here. A massive red drake. They're like,
So,
what?
so it's my turn.
Yep, you can. You got the 3 soldiers.
Okay.
All right, I got the 3 soldiers, and I'm right next to Tyrius. I'm still invisible, right?
No, you're
No.
soldiers.
Oh,
that
You're just
Yeah,
the soldiers.
You can play the Lady Drelden soldiers.
Matt, I'm supposed to be like at 21 in the initiative order.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sorry,
I'm only
Trego. I'm sorry,
13.
Trego. Yeah, I'm sorry, Trego. You were supposed to be
Right after.
Right.
after Bolin. Sorry. So Trego, yeah, go ahead. It's actually Trego's turn before the soldiers.
Kind of like the same as Niv. I would kind of freak out, not knowing. I'd probably just make myself.
Because you'd be in there before me, because I'm only at a 13.
Yeah.
I would just like. Are those like big stone things like that, like right at the entrance, or is that like the wall?
That's the wall there, the doors. Yeah, that's the door walls.
Okay, that's the wall. I would probably make my way to the right, like the easiest way away from the dragon and everything.
Okay, you're over kind of by Niv then.
Do we see so we see the armor and the shit coming down? Do we
Yep.
see the dude in the cloak? Do I see the guy in the cloak?
Yeah, the cloak figure is clearly visible, blocking the way up to the
All right,
stairs.
I'd probably take my one shot with my hand crossbow at him then.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d20.
Just ignoring the giant dragon.
Fair point.
shooting around the dragon.
12.
12. That is a miss. Actually, wait. Sorry. No, he hasn't cast mage armor yet, so that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
12?
On a 12, yeah.
Kill him.
That won't be sneak attack though, will it?
You do not have advantage. No.
Yeah. Let me double check what my hand crossbow does here. But I think it's just 1d6, isn't it?
What a lucky roll.
Oh my god.
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
Wow.
yeah. So as you run into this room, you see the dragon. You immediately head to the right, terrified by it. You see these these animated armor coming down, and you get a bolt off, and it sticks out and slams into this guy's right shoulder, and you can see some blood starting to come down there. Good.
Is there any shit? I should have used cunning action first. Is there anything that I could use my cunning action to hide behind?
There is a pillar there. You could try and get around.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hide behind the pillar.
Okay. Give me a
Do I gotta
stealth
roll
check.
for that?
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
What's that? Ooh, that's good. That's 23.
Okay, so you're able to hide behind that pillar now, so you'll have advantage and sneak attack next time. Okay, that brings us to the armor. They are going to go ahead now and to try and make some attacks here. So I'm going to see if I can move them first. And they have...
Matt, sorry, Matt. Is my creature an ancient red dragon?
That's correct.
Okay.
Ancient. Ancient.
Can of whoop ass being opened up
Dude.
right now.
You guys, buckle up.
Charging here.
Buckle up.
Charging here. Charging here.
Buckle up, baby.
No, those three
Charging
guards
here.
toast.
They're gonna charge the dragon. Charge the dragon. Dragon.
They're
Dragon.
toast.
We
Tim,
got-
light them up, baby.
All right, let me start with the let's start with the soldiers here. We got 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I got 3 of those guys here. That is a hit, 2 hits,
Literally.
and doing a total of.
Wait, to me?
Yeah.
So no, I'm doing the soldiers first. This guy right here, and they're doing. They get double attacks, so I get to roll that again.
Yeah, man.
That one misses. And let's see, 2 melee attacks there, and we are going to be doing a total of 1. Okay, 9 points of damage. So this guy is he's okay. He's not dead yet, but he's still hurting. This guy we're gonna roll here. On this guy, that first one is a miss. Second one hits, and he does a total of.
Oh, you look so
1
disappointed.
damage. Last guy here is going to be attacking, miss, and a miss. So they're missing there.
Trying to
So
make
this guy's hurting pretty bad.
They're all dead. You missed that hard, they're all dead. Burn them alive.
And let's go over here on the dragon now. First one. Let me see here. Your AC is ridiculously
It's
high.
22.
Miss.
So he attacks me?
Miss.
the
Hold
armor
on. Wait.
The armor guys do. The armor guys
So
do.
Armor
at
guys.
the end of 1 attack against me, I'm going to use one of my legendary actions.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
Well, I have 3 legendary actions. I'm going to use 2 of them for a wing attack. The dragon beats its wings. Each creature within 15 feet of the dragon must succeed on a DC 25 dexterity saving throw,
Whoa! 20 roll!
or take 17 or 2d6 plus 10 bludgeoning damage
Wow.
and be knocked prone.
Fucking H him.
That's gonna hit everybody here.
That's
Yeah,
just
don't we all have to take that?
it's a wing
15
flap.
feet, though. I mean,
That's
I would
everyone
say
here. That's everyone here.
Yeah.
So DC 22, you said?
25.
25 with dexterity. Let me check my dexterity bonus here. I have a 0 on the armor. So first one.
Off,
That is,
man.
I mean, I can't beat a 25. So all these guys, all of them, receive how much damage did you say?
17 damage or 2d6 plus 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
this guy's gone. Actually, let me roll it out. 2d6 plus 10. Yeah, he's gone. The second guy.
Didn't Tim
he's
roll it
gone.
out?
Oh right, yeah. I mean, you can as well if you want.
Yeah, 2d6 plus. So 7. Yes, I rolled a 17. So 17.
17. Okay, that guy's dead. The second soldier. Oh, on all of them, yeah. 17 for all of them. Okay,
Yeah.
so these guys are nearly dead, and 17 for everyone else here. So that drops all of them down. Oh my
And they're
goodness.
knocked prone.
Oh,
But that means that they can't attack you again because you said it was after 1 attack.
I think they're dead.
That means
I only have
one
3.
guy.
I only have 3 legendary actions, and I just used 2 of them on that 1 attack.
Okay, so these guys are all knocked prone, and they've already moved, so they can't get up. So they are done. They cannot attack. So basically, the red dragon just knocked them all over. These guys, in fact, if they take damage, Niv, your doppelgangers, if they take damage, are they gone?
No, because it says that it says a duplicate can be destroyed only by an attack that hits it. It ignores all other damage and effects.
Okay.
So is that considered as an attack that hits it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
well, would they still have to make the saving throw, wouldn't they?
So they fizzle out of existence, essentially. Is that right?
Yeah. Because I mean, it's only 1 minute anyway, so they were all gonna be just gone anyways.
Okay.
After the
What about the club
armor
guy?
moved.
So the cloaked figure is far enough away that he doesn't suffer from anything. But we are gonna go ahead now and try to. The question is. Oh no. I'm gonna have to burn a 5th level here. 5th level counter spell. I gotta do it. Or no, not counter spell. Sorry, what am I saying? Dispel magic.
Doesn't matter.
So I gotta roll a 15 or higher.
Yep.
All right, here we go. 7. Failed.
Yeah.
And I just burned a 5th level.
And you burned your 5th level.
Oh crap! I shouldn't have done that. All right, I'm gonna try something else next round if I still survive. Okay.
Do I get a turn?
Oh yeah, what's happening with Timi?
He's upstairs.
Yeah.
Tim
Was
was
it
upstairs.
Sirius gonna attack him?
Sirius was going after the noise with a knife. Yeah.
That was the first round. Now we're on the second round.
Okay, Timi.
Oh.
Tirius.
Timi round.
Go,
Yeah.
Tirius goes after you with a knife. We need to actually roll initiative here. He's actually gonna get it. Well, we'll call this almost surprise because he jumps out first, so he'll get the first attack here in this one. But roll initiative anyway.
But he can't see Timmy.
No.
Cool. What'd you roll?
What did I roll?
Yeah.
16.
You're up.
Okay. So he's gonna go ahead and strike out. It's gonna be a disadvantage because he doesn't see you. So yeah, he rolls a 7, so he misses you.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack.
Are you gonna attack him back?
Yeah.
What?
What? You're not Groggle.
Yeah, Timmy's gonna die.
He's dead. What the? All right, you gotta stop drinking, dude.
I'm an assassin.
By the way, Tim, your background is now very prescient.
What?
Your background.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, right. What a lucky roll. Oh my goodness.
So what am I? With a dagger, I am rolling.
With your dex.
Dex would be
+2.
15.
15. Okay, that's a miss actually. All right, so that's that round there. Let's jump back down.
To me?
Yeah.
So wait, I have a question before you get started on this. Is Tim like sentient? I mean, does he realize what's happened? Like when it happened to Trago, he was like a fire element. He didn't really know what was going on.
Well, see,
Yeah.
Trago
Trago
didn't know
got
what was
deceived.
happening.
No, that's true. That's true. Tim.
I gave it to Trago.
Bolin knows what's going on.
I know what I'm doing. So I'm fully like cognizant of what
You
just
better
happened.
hurry up.
So I want to turn around. I'm gonna turn my head and look back. I'm gonna see Niv, right? So I'm gonna move my giant dragon face, look back at Niv. Like just my head. I'm not gonna move my whole body.
I'm like shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna look back at him and I'm gonna just do like a little shit grin, like a wink, and like give him a little grin, and then I'm gonna turn back.
Do I notice that? Or do I just see a dragon turning and
You see a dragon turning and winking at you.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm gonna turn back and I'm gonna cast fire breath.
Did you cast it?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna as an action, I'm going to use fire breath.
Oh man.
The dragon exhales fire in a 90-foot cone.
Yeah.
Each listen to this. Each creature in that area must make a DC 24 dexterity saving throw, taking 91 fire damage on a failed save.
So
Or
like hold on.
26 d6.
Wow.
2066.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Jesus.
All right.
Or half as much on a
Like how
damage.
the fuck did you get that?
I just
Okay.
Googled
So a
ancient
cone?
red dragon stats.
So a cone, it means that This guy's dead. Dead.
The
All of
table's
these guys,
gone.
the metal is burning.
Gone.
And this guy, in fact, is also falls down. As soon as he falls down, the metal armor, you see the metal armor that you hit with your breath begins to melt. And it turns into liquid, actually, like like mercury running into the carpet on the ground. And as soon as the whatever individual there in the cloak falls over, hit with this deadly breath, the rest of the armor falls to pieces as the spell sort of dissipates. So you hear this clanking noise as everything else falls around. And you're left here now with this guy here on the ground who is smoldering, and he is, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he is out of commission, but he still is gasping for his last few breaths.
96 hit points he took?
Yeah,
unless he rolled a 25 DC or dexterity saving throw.
For all intents and purposes, he's gone, but he's taking his last breath here. And he looks up at the dragon. And he says, please don't kill me. Save me.
And I'm going to look back at him and go,
And as you do that, the breath of air comes across and hits him, and you see the hood flying backwards.
It's your father.
And there, lying on the floor, you see the face of Kandar, the lowly servant in Theondir Keep that you guys at one point had pants.
Shut your fucking face.
What?
Tim, you killed him.
Right.
What is this?
And as so
was he trying to protect Tyrius?
So as Kandar is dying away, his last breath, all you hear coming out of his mouth is "Feuerbrat," and he dies.
Wow.
Wait, you guys pants somebody?
Oh man,
It was so good, dude.
we did so many things to this servant, this lowly servant.
Fucker.
Poor guy.
Lot,
Oh, you were there. Like it was right
I
when we got
was?
into Theondir.
It was the guy that would be.
He would walk away and we'd like make like a fart noise that he was farting.
No, I wasn't there.
Like we did pants him once. That you know.
Well, no wonder it took you like 16 months to get.
Oh shit! All right.
So I'm just gonna like dance as the dragon.
Okay.
You should.
And so
Dude,
after,
you gotta get out and fly, man. What are you doing? Get out and fly.
Well,
after a while there,
because we don't actually know that it's him.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm hiding behind that pillar still.
And I would assume like Paul or Kerrhylon and Sora and everybody eventually make it there.
or no, entering into the room. Yeah.
Look,
And-
what the?
Bolin, and you guys run in, you see this enormous ancient red dragon, and after about 35, 40 more seconds, you see like this light begin to envelop around it again, and once again this explosion of a burst of energy, and the smoke clears, and there's Bolin standing there, grinning with a massive grin on his face. And you look in there in front of you is a pile of melted metal. Lady Drelden's soldiers are dead, and Kandar lying there, crispy. Before you guys decide what you want to do, let's run up to Timi now. Timi, we run back up to you. At this point, Tyrius is going to he's going to cast a version of Hold Person.
Tyrius is.
Tyrius is, yeah. So Timi, let me get this spell up here real quick. Okay. Oh, a human that you can see. You're still invisible, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh, he-
I cast a spell.
After he attack, I mean, can he attack while invisible?
No, I cast a spell, so I'm not invisible.
Oh, okay, so you're not invisible anymore. Okay, so now you can go ahead and do that. You need to take a wisdom saving throw.
Timmy's gonna get thrown in the brig with Groggle.
Oh, 18 natural, so
18. Okay.
natural.
Yes, nice. So you
Plus,
you pass. You are not in fact you're not in fact held at this point, paralyzed.
I'm
So it's
the
your turn.
assassin.
Tim, you disappeared.
No, I went to
Oh.
garbage.
My attack
Yep.
with the dagger.
Oh,
Oh, 25, something like that. 19
25? Hit.
something
Yeah.
like that?
Hit.
Plus 2. So 21. Hold on. I think.
Yeah,
What
let's,
your
make
dex
sure,
is.
let's make sure I got it right.
Jesus, you're gonna kill Tyrius, aren't you?
Yep. 3.
Okay. So you slice onto Tyrius's arm and slicing open his garment a little bit and cutting into his arm. And he's obviously angered at you at this point. We'll cut back to the other guys. Run back down here. You guys are down one level below at this point. What do you want to do?
Is Tim back to normal?
Yep, Tim's back to normal.
Yeah.
Bolin is back to his normal form.
I kind of want
So,
to.
So are Sora and Kerrhylon are in
I
there
kind
now as
of
well?
retched to the smell of burning flesh.
If Tim is back to normal and everything, I'm gonna start running towards
Yes.
the thing. I'm just gonna look back at Bowler and be like, I think we got a little bit of a discussion we have to have. Just start bolting as fast as I can. I'm gonna double dash.
You're gonna head back out the front door or up the stairs that
Upstairs.
that the
Up the
Kandar was protecting. Okay, so you run up the stairs as well. The rest of you are you following him, or are you
Yeah.
staying in the room, or
I'm pulling out my medallion.
okay? So you run up the stairs, Trago, and you come up, and the rest of you are slightly behind him, and you burst your way into the throne room. You come up the stairs eventually, and oddly enough, there aren't any guards out in front of the throne room. Oddly enough, and you burst your way into the throne room, and it's a familiar space you've seen on a couple of previous occasions. From the outside of the walls, you can hear shouting and the running of soldiers. Here, it's relatively quiet, except you see in front of you a figure, Tyrius, standing there, blade out, and next to him is Timi, also with his weapons out. And you can see the two of these are in a fight with each other. Tyrius, now seeing you run in and seeing the rest of you run in, turns to you and says, "What is the meaning of this? Who are you all? What are you doing here?" Kerrhylon, are you with them at this point?
Well, if I catch up, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not with them. I'm not with them either. I stayed in the other room. I want to search
Okay.
Kandar before.
Search for the charred remains of anything that he has on him.
Yeah, never. Maybe he's working with somebody.
Is it just me then that ran up?
Yep.
No, I'm with. I'm the. I would
Kerrhylon's
come
with?
after you. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
so
I'll stay down with Bolin.
Okay, Kerrhylon, as you enter the room at this point, your amulet is blazing now more than ever before. Oddly enough, it wasn't blazing when you were in the room with Kandar. As you guys search Kandar's body, you don't find any weapons on him. He's unarmed. He just has the remains of burned up magical elements. He wasn't actually armed.
Is his cloak? I'm assuming his cloak is completely destroyed.
Yeah, it's charred. Yeah.
his DNA is destroyed. Right. Let's put that.
Chad's really mad at me right now.
So I'm just gonna ask Bolin as we're standing there, like, did we just fuck up? Was he protecting Tyrius? Why was he in here?
I don't know.
Kill him.
Ooh. We
He's
just
alright.
I saw him run. I saw a cloaked figure run through the gate after the explosion. I got in here, and when I got into the room, he said, "You will not go any further," and summoned 8
Oh,
plate male soldiers that
oh.
His breath. Come on, buddy.
Because do we, as far as we knew, these guys were just servants, right? They weren't bodyguards?
Yeah, he was a servant. He
But is
served
that-
food.
Is that what we understood them as, Matt? We didn't think they were bodyguards or anything, right?
No, you thought they were servants, yeah.
So I get in and my medallion's going bananas.
Yeah.
And I see Timi.
Yeah.
And I see Tyrius.
They're obviously in combat.
Yeah, they are fighting with each other at this point.
And I see Trago's in front of me.
All your medallion detects undead people, right?
Yes. So I'm gonna do my little thing again, where I say, "From light to life, from darkness to death."
And the bluish amulet, this part of your bluish amulet that it shimmers a little bit more. Nothing happens, but the golden part now is shining brighter than ever. The golden part of the amulet, the two that fuse together, the one that you got from Greywater, is burning brighter than ever.
Matt, can I say something?
Yeah.
So I want to go over all the things we have, and I want to say, lay Drillmore to the king, or something. I don't know.
What?
I want all
Those were just words you said.
One more time.
Fuck you, Tim. I figured it out an hour and a half ago. I want all the king's ladies, or the ladies' kings, or whatever, to come and fight
Who's
with
the
us.
king?
Oh,
What
you mean
king?
all the guards?
Yeah. Thanks for figuring it out.
The ladies.
Do you want to go
yeah.
where?
The ladies' guards. No, I want them to
They're
come
dead.
if they can.
Oh, he
The
doesn't know
guards are
that.
dead.
Yeah, they're all dead.
You only got 3 of them, then they
Yeah,
got
he
fried.
doesn't.
Right.
I mean, Timmy doesn't know.
Fucking
that.
dragon.
But,
They got fried.
Timmy wouldn't know that though.
No.
So you say that over the walkie-talkie?
I think we all have our walkie-talkies going.
Yeah.
So I might reply back and just say, I got some bad news.
So all right. So I yell out, "Timi, what the hell is going on?" Again.
Yeah, Bruce, like, what the fuck are you doing, Timmy? And they'd probably take a shot at him, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd probably shoot my crossbow at Timmy.
Okay, go ahead and shoot at Timmy.
What is happening right now?
It's going to be a 19.
That's a hit on Timmy.
Okay, roll me
That's a
damage.
hit.
Are you sure about this? I'm gonna fiddle your way into death.
Dude, you are killing the guy that we're supposed to be protecting.
No.
Yes.
Sure about that?
That's bursting in, yes. 4 for 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay, Timmy, take 8 damage off of you.
Okay, yeah, I'll write it down. -8 for Eric. He went out to smoke.
At this point, Tyrius is utterly confused, and he's shouting out, "Who are you? What is the meaning of this?" At all of you. Niv and Bolin, are you joining him at this point? Or are you?
Well, I guess
I mean,
I would,
after-
if I heard, that he was calling for more guards and for more help.
Yeah. After we search him, I'm going to run up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll rush upstairs thinking maybe someone's trying to attack Tyrius up there.
Matt,
Okay.
I would use my my bonus action to dash towards Timmy, and I don't know how far away, but I want to try to tackle him and put him down as soon as I,
Okay.
as soon as I could.
Let's take a quick break until Eric gets back, and then we can finish up for the night here. All right, you guys. You burst up your way into the throne room. The rest of you join. Trago's up there now. Bolin, Kerrhylon, Niv is up there. You come in. You see that the Tyrius is standing alone, but next to him, he's fighting with Timi in some odd way. Tyrius is utterly confused, and he's shouting out, "What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Who are you? What are you doing here?" And Kerrhylon, at this point, the golden part of your amulet is blazing. The part that is specifically focused on the blade of the triumvirate. And suddenly, you hear a door to the right of you swing open. And into the room steps Feuerbrand. He is, however, treading cautiously. He looks to you, Bolin, to the rest of you, and says, "Looks like you have finished off Kandar." And then he turns to Tyrius. "My lord, I fear that you are in grave danger. Believe me. He looks back at you, the group. None of these individuals is to be trusted. He looks to you again. Stand down. Stand your ground. Do not come any closer. Tyrius, now utterly confused, starts shouting again. What's going on here? What's going on here? The confusion of the moment, however, is interrupted by another voice booming from the back of the room. It is Melathon. My lord, Governor Tyrius. Melathon emerges from the back, running up to Tyrius. He immediately spots you all before his eyes fall on Feuerbrand. Feuerbrand, what is the meaning of this? Come no closer. Lay down your weapons immediately. Do it now, without delay. Feuerbrand stops, cold, grinning with something of a deep, deep, dark laugh. Very well. He opens his cloak, loosening a belt and allowing an ornate silver blade around his waist to fall to the ground with a metallic clank. Tyrius, now angered, shouts out, Melathon, what just happened? What is the meaning of all of this? My lord, there has been an incursion by those who would dare to make an attempt on your life. Glaring now at Feuerbrand, he slowly steps up to Tyrius' side. And my lord, we now know who lies behind it all. From destruction, the seeds of new life. And with a flash of incredible speed and dexterity, Melathon draws forth a glowing blade from his side. Grabbing Tyrius' silver hair from behind, he runs the blade straight across the old man's exposed throat. Tyrius gurgles out a muted scream as a rush of crimson splatters across his cloak. And as the body of Tyrius collapses limp to the floor, Melathon casts the blade at your feet. Kerrhylon's amulet now flashing with a blinding radiance. The blindness from the amulet lasts for only a moment, and as your vision returns, you catch Melathon making a quick gesture by which he disappears from your view, reappearing behind you high up on a balcony near the entrance to the throne room. Guards! Guards! Tyrius is down! We are under attack! He yells out, and with a rumble, as if from an earthquake, door after door flies open from all sides of the room, and countless soldiers begin to pour in like floodwaters running off the spring mountainside. And in a flash, the soldiers encircle you, filling the room, weapons drawn. Feuerbrand is nowhere to be seen. The din of armor and weapons is deafening in your ears, but above it all, you hear the echoing of Melathon's booming voice from above as he points down at you. Capture the knot! Capture the knot! And that is where we'll end.
Fuck that shit.